What up? How we doing? What up, Deuce? Talk about nerfs. Their patch coming? No, but I am actually gonna put out a video where I'm going to talk about how I would nerf every character in the game. So I'm sure the Brian mains are not going to be happy about that one, but you know, we'll see. I'm not sure if I'm just gonna rip it from stream or if I'm gonna like do a more organized thing off stream, but we'll see. We'll see. Let me set my. Okay, there we go. How's everybody doing? One moment. Just need to post that I'm live on my socials. Then all right, how we doing? What's going on, Tips? How's it going? Gonna go Pokey Rogue. Okay, I see you. They can nerf Fang's guaranteed sleep after the wall spike. I don't know how I feel about spike combos. It feels very weird that characters that traditionally had a low damage just get a spike combo. I don't think I like that very much. But spike combos also make more sense with the buffed HP, right? Like, do I think a character like Azucena, for instance, no flamed tips, obviously, but does a character like Azucena need a spike combo with 180 HP? Probably not. With 200 HP, well, everyone else has one, right? You know, who am I to say that Azu shouldn't get one? Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm doing okay today. Feel pretty good. Always happy to stream. I've been enjoying it a lot. That's the problem with TA. Yeah, there's a lot of issues like that where a lot of things are necessary due to the way the game is structured, but in a better designed game, that just wouldn't exist, right? So, in my opinion, there's a lot of like archetypes of moves that probably shouldn't be in the game. So let me see if I have like a notepad or something.
7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
What's going on, Squilliam? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. So, like, here are like the archetypes of moves that probably shouldn't be in the game. Homing buttons that give a mix-up on block. What up? How we doing? This type of move... Can I make this bigger? Is there like a font joint for this? I can make it bold. Can you guys... Yeah, you guys can see that. Burger King makes my farts so bad. W Burger King. So, homing buttons that give a mix-up on block. Okay, you're talking crazy right now. I'm just gonna block you on YouTube. Goodbye. Have fun. And block you on a restream later. Oh, you're on mobile. You can't see it. Okay, that's fine. Actually, here, let me pull up like a Google Doc or something. Let me do new document. Okay, let me switch accounts. I don't know what's happening. Okay, Google Docs is... One second. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Okay, Times New Roman, Arial is not good. Okay. Here we go. So, move archetypes. Let me bold. Move archetypes that shouldn't exist in a serious fighting game. Okay, so this is, I don't know why I capitalized. Don't look at this. Okay, this is not good. The capitalization is just all wrong. Okay, this is bad. That's fine. Homing buttons that give a mix-up on block. So you made another account? Okay, bye. So, the purpose of a homing button is to lock down movement, right? That's the point of a homing button. So, ideally, what's going on, Punk? How are we doing? So, one of the issues with homing buttons is that in Tekken 8, they give way too much reward, right? If we look at Alyssa's standing 4, one, this is insanely plus on hit, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. But this is a really fast homing button. Has a really good counter hit property. That is all guaranteed. So this is a good button. We also have up to rather. So this has infinity range. This is one of her best whip punishers. It's barely minus. And it transitions in the stance. Okay, I'm just going to keep banning you, so good luck. So you probably don't know this, but your messages aren't showing up on the screen because I can do that on my end. I can, like, remove all of your messages. So you can keep doing this, but, like, I'm just going to keep banning you. I'm not playing the game right now, so it's fine. Who has a homing button that gives a mix-up on block? Armor King. There are a bunch of them. I mean, this one gives a mix-up on block too, right? It's -2, but she's in chainsaws if he has a homing power crush from chainsaws, right? So this whole sequence is its own thing, but in my opinion, this gives too much reward. This is a homing high heat engager where if you're wrong, your opponent still has to guess. The purpose of a homing button is that you're calling out movement. If you're wrong about calling out movement, you shouldn't be rewarded for being wrong. That doesn't make any sense, right? In a game where moves have a purpose, a homing button that does another thing, like I think wall splatting is fine, but a homing button that does another thing is insane. That should not be in the game. So every homing button in the game that gives a mix-up on block has to go. If it transitions to the stance, that needs to not be a thing. If it's plus on block, that needs to not be a thing. Even the plus on block high homing buttons, even that's a lot, in my opinion. She needs it, true, she does. So that move archetype has to go. I'm personally okay with wall splatting as long as the move comes with sufficient minus frames. But that's just me, right? Like, Shaheen's is -13. Oh, we resorted to racism. Okay, that's fine. Wait, I have a legit question? Okay, what's up? What about Azu's back 2 and Heat being +5? The problem is how Alyssa needs it. Shows us Tekken systems full of broken moves. Yeah, I mean, yes and no. Ideally, a lot of this stuff would get fixed. So Azu's back 2 in Heat, I think, is a good, like, discussion piece. We'll put this one on. What's going on, Noah? How are we doing?
Get ready for the
I dropped my phone? Oh, it's right here. So, you think Steve's up back 2 doesn't need to be +5? No, I don't think it does. I don't think there should be a plus on block homing button, in my opinion. So with Azu's Heat up back 2 or up back 1, Back one? What? Back to... Oh, yeah. This one. Okay. If that were +2 instead of +4, I think as a heat move, this is fine. Because if it's this, right? If it's this +2, your opponent has a lot of counterplay, right? So, sure, this is a homing button that gives a mix-up on block, but Azu's burning a resource in order to get access to that. So that's fine, right? Like, for instance, for Steve's up back 2, if that were +3, meaning you could jab interrupt, but it still gave a mix-up on block, I think that's totally fine if it was like a heat button or something. Because now it's like, okay, I'm calling out your movement, but because I'm in heat and I'm burning my meter for it, I'm not just getting a reward for free. Block user. So that's kind of where I'm at with homing moves, right? Yeah, that's where I'm at with a homing button. I don't think homing button should give a reward on block. I think you should either completely lose your turn or even be punished, in my opinion. Well, except for backlash. Homing armor is like a whole other story. I think homing armor is an abomination because like the move just does too many things, right? Because now you're talking about a move that like it interrupts pressing, so you're calling out pressing, but you're also calling out your opponent sidestepping, but you're also like it's also your turn because it's like +5 on block. Now backlash is reactable.
7 minutes.
So
7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
Thanks, Joe Maki, with the follow. Appreciate it. Because backlash is reactable, I'm more okay with backlash because it's a reactable high. It should be homing or armored. Yeah, exactly. Because it's like a 30 frame, a reactable high, I can't really say, will this be uploaded? I might upload like a more scripted version of this, where like the beginning is like a little section where I just talk about my philosophy on balance, and then the rest of it will just be a video where I go over each character. But yeah, I do plan on uploading some version of this onto YouTube. Also, what's going on, Caleb? I would give up backlash armor if it could go back and being into transition into right flamingo. Yeah. At 30 frames, I think it's allowed to have more dimensions because your opponent can react to it. Whose move is backlash? It's Hwoarang's homing armored high. So I'm at Eddie Main, also have a big tournament, so I'm gonna be practicing for that. Nice. Where is Hwoarang? If you don't got that blue line, it shouldn't be homing. In my opinion, I think if you can't step a move, I think they should just give it a homing trail so that the defender knows that the button is homing. So, this is backlash. This is backlash. So, armored high, plus on block, knocks down into guaranteed follow-up, and it wall slides. So, because it's 27 frames, it's really hard to say this needs more nerfs, but it still probably does too many things. It should probably just be armored. It probably shouldn't be homing. I think even a plus on block armored high. Oh, that move was toxic in Tekken 7. Yeah, I imagine it was basically impossible to punch Tekken 7. Especially if your opponent was 4-bar, right? You're never punching that on 4-bar connection. So yeah, that's the first archetype of move that I want gone. In pursuit of overpower, I think it just shouldn't be homing. I think it should be a linear move. You're specifically trying to call out a press. You shouldn't be like rewarded because you like caught your opponent's sidestep, right? I just don't agree with that. he has more problematic moves. I completely agree. Yeah, like Backlash is a move that should be nerfed, but it's not one that I would nerf first, right? So that's kind of where I am at with like move archetypes. I don't think that homing button should give a mix button block. I also don't think that armored moves should absorb hits and then become safe. I think if you call out a press and your opponent's move recovers faster, like, you have to hold that, right? I don't think you should get rewarded for that. So I don't think armored buttons shouldn't be plus if they, or shouldn't be safe if they absorb a fast hit. Have I ever asked what your first Tekken was? This is my first Tekken. I've watched a lot of like Tekken content, but this is my first Tekken. You're talking like an old head? Listen, I've been around the block, you feel me? I think if the point of armor is to call out your opponent pressing a slow button on their turn, right? So if your opponent is +5, right? So if my opponent does this, this into, I don't know, what's even a slow button? So this and into this. If your opponent uses a slow button on their plus frames, that should be the purpose of armor, right? Is to stop pressure. You shouldn't be able to like armor a jab and then with all of the pushback, like you just knock them away and reset to neutral. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like that's not the point of what armor's for. I think armor should be broken after a certain amount of damage. I think a healthy armor nerf wouldn't require that, especially with the advent of armored highs that are safe. I don't think armored highs that are safe should exist. I think if it's a high, it should be like -10 or something. But this is a very, very common example, right? Where you're playing yeah, you're playing against Huarang, right? And you're playing Kunimitsu. 3 hits like drive impact? Maybe. So, unfortunately, this type of counterplay is matchup specific. This is only something that like Kunimitsu and Steve can do. Not many other characters can do this. But, where's right foot forward? During right stance backlash. Right? So this is something that Kunimitsu can do. If I'm not ass. I spammed many times. Right? This is something that Kuni can do, and Steve can also do this. Where if you have a hard call out on them using armor, he just took 132 damage, right? I think every character should be able to do that. Where I think it should completely pause the armored effect, and then you can either sidestep, or if it's a high, then you can duck it. I think the purpose of our armor is you think I'm going to do jab on hit into like a hop kick or something. Or you think I'm going to do jab on hit into a 17 frame move. And you're trying to say, no, you're going to take your frames here, but I don't want to take a risk with like a G-clef because G-clefs are really punishable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to armor. That's my like catch-all, is that I think you're going to take your frames, but you're not going to interrupt my armor, right? I think that's the purpose of armor. And I think every character should be able to do this. Every character should be able to do that, in my opinion. So, yeah, I don't think any armor... what's going on, Hasoon? What's crazy is other power crushers is... I saw a stroke. What's crazy is other power crushers push back. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's one of my favorite things to do is Kuni. Yeah, it's really, really good. You can also use it against muscle armor. Because I don't remember which way the muscle armor mid actually tracks, but I think that if Kuni catches the beginning of muscle armor, then she can do some really messed up stuff. So isn't this like down back 1+2 too? Yeah, so. Right, like Kuni can do this. Which is pretty good, right? That's pretty good. Steve also has something very similar that he can do. Just because of how fast he actually hits. I think Nina can as well. But don't quote me on that. So, yeah. In my opinion, I think armored moves in general just should be quite a bit worse. Can Steve catch muscle armor the same way? Yes, I don't know how he does it though. I think Steve does like 1-2, 1-2 into back one.
Get ready for the next battle.
Yeah, you do 1-2, 1 and into back one. Right, so that's what Steve would do against Jack, and also grab. Yeah. Steve can wall throw. So like, if you have like a crazy angle, you can do what? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So. Right, you can do that, and if you're red, that's 140 damage conversion, right? Like, because you know red, every time he wall splats you, he's getting 140, and he's also getting an extra 30 damage on top of that. Yeah, you're just dying there every single time. You're just dying there. So yeah, Steve has some cool stuff. Kunimitsu has some cool stuff. Maybe Nina and Anna can do something because they have like really fast jab strings. But in my opinion, every character should be able to call out armor like this. I don't think you should just be able to, you're playing Victor and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna flowchart -9 into back 1+2, just every single time, right? How many Victor players do you see where they'll play like this? Every big Victor player does this. Where they'll do this because they're all bots. They all do this. They all do this every single time. They will all every single time. Plus frames mix up into my armored high, reset to neutral. I'm just gonna run the same situation over and over again. What's going on, Cotton? How are we doing? So like every Victor player does that. They should be allowed to be wrong here. And the fact that this is just near optimal gameplay for playing Victor, I think is pretty absurd. I think that if a Victor player thinks that you're going to press here or that you're going to take your frames with like a slow button here, I think they should get punished. And if they don't get punished for it, I think that's just insane. So in my opinion, if you were playing a character like King or something, you would do a 15 frame mid, and then it would catch the armor, and then oh, that's a high, I'm just gonna duck it, or oh, it's a mid armor, I'm just gonna block and take my punish, right? In my opinion, that's how armor should be used, is to call out a slow button on plus frames. It shouldn't be, oh, I'm just gonna flowchart -100 into armor, and you shouldn't have pressed that move, you're just dead now. Because, oh, guess what? This wall splats. Right? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Ironically, a lot of people would probably not say this, but I think Clive has a lot of, like, decently balanced buttons. It'll be nice to force people to check with buttons instead of strings. Yeah, exactly. So, for instance, this is Clive's 10 frame punish. This knocks down. This does not wall splat. In my opinion, armor buttons should do that knockdown, where they just don't wall splat. What's going on, Pain? How we doing? Where it's like, oh, I'm gonna do -9 into armor with your back against the wall, and you pressed a 16 frame move, your wall splat for 70 damage into broken Oki, right? In my opinion, this should be the knockdown that armor gets. You doing okay yourself? I'm doing okay today. Can't complain. Something else that Clive has, which I really like, Clive's Demon Breath doesn't wall splat. Right? His 13 frame panic button heat engager, this doesn't wall splat. I like this. It's also safe, which I don't know if I like that. But I think for as many issues as Clive has, this button is like appropriately powered, in my opinion. It's also safe. Yeah. So it being safe means that, sure, maybe heat engaging is a little bit too much, but it doesn't wall splat. It's +2 on hit. This is like kind of bad, because look at the pushback, right? If this didn't heat engage, this move is worthless. Because I don't even think it does anything on the counter hit, right? This doesn't have a counter hit property. Yeah, like, this move is just bad. Like, this has to heat engage. If it didn't heat engage, this move would be terrible. It's +2 on hit. You know, that's just not very good. So, again, despite his range is insane. Yeah, his range is really good, right? Like, this move is crazy. This should just have a homing trail. This should just have a homing trail. This already is probably the most over-dimensioned move in the entire game. This is a safe. Thanks, Cool Corporate Ops, for the sub. I appreciate it. This is a safe steel pedal that's homing and instant tornadoes airborne opponents and hits grounded and wall splats. I don't know if a move should do that many things. That's a lot of things, which, you know, that's another property that I'm gonna talk about. Yeah, so we already talked about the armor stuff. I think the next thing we're gonna talk about is G-Claps. Staff needs to be honest both ways. True. So Genghis beat Trizzy using that moves with a few other to prove a point when Trizzy was playing Xiao Yu. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. G-Clefs. These are 10 frame counter hit nerf Clive, you're right. I think Clive is kind of fine. What Clive is really good at is space control. What Clive is really bad at is mix-ups. His mix-ups are not very good. So Clive is not a character where I'd be like, he needs omega nerfs. What I would probably do with Clive is just rework how some of his moves work, in my opinion. G-Clefs are way too good across the board. I agree. So, I'm actually going to talk about Lily because I think she has the most balanced G-Clef in the entire game. I think his full crouch game is really good. His full crouch game is pretty good. If you're really locked in, you usually don't have to hold a mix-up. So, in my opinion, I think Lily has the most balanced G-Clef in the entire game. So, first, no wall splat. Now, what it does do, which a lot of people don't know that this does, Lily's G-Clef stops you from tech rolling. You have to stand up, which is really good for Lily, right? That's what she really likes. So, you're not allowed to tech roll here. You have to just get up and just hold a mix-up, which is annoying, obviously. But it's fine because it's a -15. Now, it is delayable, right? So we can delay all 3 hits. The last hit by itself is a counter hit launcher. It's a pretty damaging counter hit launcher too, right? I think she gets like 80 something from this. Yeah, it's a good button, right? Does everyone have one? No. Let's see. Who has a G clef? Brian has one. Dragunov has one. I think Hwarang has one. Every Mishima. I don't consider Flash Punches G clefs. Kuma has one. Lars has one. Law has one. Lee has one technically, right? With 223. Lily has one. Panda has one. Doesn't Raven have a G clef? I think Raven has a G clef. Shaheen has one. Steve has one. Zhao Yu doesn't. Yoshi doesn't. Zafina doesn't. Eddie has one. Anna used to have the best one in Tekken history. Anna used to have the single most powerful G clef that's ever existed. But they nerfed that. Technically, Falkenraum has one with his 1-1. He just doesn't do anything. So I actually don't know if I would consider Falkenraum's a G clef. Marizo does not have one, and then Kunimitsu has one. So, generally speaking, a G clef is a 10-hit counter hit string. A 10 frame counter hit string. Yeah, that's basically all it is. Just you call your opponent for mashing, and you get a decently sized reward for connecting your G clef. So Lily's is minus 15. I thought it was the move in GG motion. True. Yeah. Ray Raven has one. I think I said that. It's minus 15. It doesn't wall splat. It does give her a mix up here, but not really, because look how far it knocks you away, right? So if she wanted to mix up, she would have to use it at the wall. So, you know, that is what it is. It is also delayable, so in that way, it's a little bit stronger than most G clefs, but again, minus 15. So she takes a pretty huge risk by just ripping this without confirming the last hit, right? Very, very scary move to use. Now, let's compare this to Dragunov.
Get ready for the next battle.
So Dragunov's, this heat engages.
7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
Thanks, Corporate Out, for the follow. Appreciate it. Not only does it heat engage, it wall splats. Not only does it wall splat, I'm so ass. Don't look at this. It wall splats for 84 damage. Not only does it wall splat for 84 damage, this wall splats from pretty far away. Okay, not from that far. That's a pretty decent wall splat, right? That's like, what, range 3-ish? Yeah, that's a pretty decent wall splat, in my opinion. Wall has the best G clef. Wall's is very good, too. His wall combo is just insane. He probably has the best wall combo in the entire game. So, in my opinion, the first 2 hits of your G clef should be punishable. You shouldn't be able to just do this. You shouldn't be able to just do that, just over and over again. Right? This is minus 9. This should be at least a minus 10. You shouldn't be able to, like, look for a counter hit here for no risk. I think that's absurd, in my opinion. Not only that, I don't think G clef should wall splat. I think that if you're calling out, especially the heat engaging G clefs, first 2 hits of laws as high as G clef tracking is not as good. Yeah. Well, so it doesn't have to be tracking, right? Because if you're using it as a counter hit button, that doesn't matter because you're just going to clip their hitbox anyways. So in my opinion, whether G-Clefs could be completely linear, it doesn't matter just because the way that hitbox expansion works in this game. In my opinion, these shouldn't wall splat. This is already a 10 frame heat engage. Why are you getting 84 damage off of this? Like, should you be getting 80 damage off of +1 into 1/2/1? Probably not. So in my opinion, I don't think that G-Clefs are wall splat. That's just me, but these are the types of moves that I wouldn't want to see in the game. So G-Clefs, with the exception of theirs, shouldn't heat engage and wall splat. I think if a G-Clef heat engages, it shouldn't wall splat, and if a G-Clef wall splats, it shouldn't heat engage. So that's my take on G-Clefs. That's what I would change about them. So that's where I am with G-Clefs. Let me see if there's any other move archetypes that I don't want in the game. Let me think. How safe is this? Oh, this is -7. I like Dragunov's homing mid. Eddie's is also kind of balanced too. Yeah. I think Eddie's is fine. One, the last hit is a high. You think stun should be brought back? Homing arm moves? Yeah. I already talked about homing arm moves. Or I guess I didn't talk about them specifically. So we can actually bring up Heihachi for this, because I think Heihachi is one of the most annoying offenders of this. We always a couple moves like that. I know it's possible. Either that or just make it auto tornado for splats. Yeah, I think that's fine too. Like the second hit floats them and the last hit tornadoes them. I think that's just stuff like that's fine. So yeah, this move is not correct. I think that if you have the wherewithal to do a step right duck here, you shouldn't get wall splat because Heihachi is trying to call out a step right duck, right? So let me go through, let me see if I can record him doing this properly. This might take a little while to set up. Oh, you know what? This forces crouch. Okay, that should be good. Okay, so, right? So, you don't even block this low. You clean step this low. You can launch that. So, that's one of the buttons. That's one of them. That's one of them. You beat that. You beat that. And you beat that hell sweep. This is a full option select for this stand. So if Heihachi wants to call out an option select, okay, cool. We have the homing button. Or we can wave dash here, and we can do a while standing 1. We can do that jumping move. To only give the ability to apply pressure. I completely agree. So the annoying thing about this stance is look what happens if Heihachi tries to call out your step right duck at the wall. You're dead. Does a throw catch step right duck? Nope. This is a full option select for this stance. The only button that Heihachi has to call this out is this armored move, which doesn't make any sense. If he's trying to call out pressing, that's what the armor's for. If he's trying to call out movement, he can have a homing mid, but why is it an armored homing mid that also wall splats? Right? It doesn't make any sense. This type of a move shouldn't be in the game. Like, if you want to have a homing move, I think that's fine. How do you deal with stance like this? So with this, you can step right down. right? That's the entire stance. You can separate Duck. His only button to call it out is this mid. This mid should not be armored. It should still be minus 14 because it's a wall splatting mid that is homing. It should be minus 13. I do not think this should be armored. I think this being armored is insane. It doesn't make any sense. I'm not even sure it should wall splat, if I'm being completely honest. I think this should maybe do like a wall crush. So like it's +7 on hit. If a wall crushes, it's like +15. But I don't even think this should wall splat. I think this wall splat is crazy. So I think that move is insane. I completely disagree with homing armored mids that wall splat. What's your take on safe armored highs? I think it should be like the Tekken 7 model, where if you hit an armor with a fast button, it like pauses them. So if you jab armor in Tekken 7, your character is allowed to fully recover and then duck if it like an armored high were to come out. So I think you should be able to do that, where it's like, I'm gonna 1-2 jab, duck, and then, oh, your armored high came out, launch. I think that's how all the armored highs should be. And they should also be -10 on block, in my opinion. No armor to wall splat. I think if you're gonna have a wall splatting armor, it should be -13. Shaheen Power Crush should be -11 on block. That is crazy. Yeah, that is insane. You can delay the Fujin 2 to realign. Yeah. But like that's the mind game, right? Like if your opponent wants to Heihachi should be forced to do the mind game. The fact that there is no mind game, it's, oh, you separate, ducked me twice. Okay, I'm just gonna start doing this. I'm just gonna do this. What's going on, Red? How are we doing? Give Steve an armored can plus town block. True. We're gonna talk about cans. Don't you worry. We're gonna talk about cans. Yeah. So, in my opinion, homing armored mids gotta go. They can't be in the game. It's just no. Nope. Wrong. Since you brought up cans, let's talk about cans.
Get ready for the next battle.
Another thing that was armor in T7 would retain their punish even on hit. Negan armor was a launch, it would still be launching though the opponent pressed a block. Yes, exactly. I think if your move recovers fast enough to not get tagged by the armor, you should still get your punish. It doesn't make any sense. Higher wrap. Listen, okay? I'm not accusing them of doing anything. They don't got people that look like me that work at Bandai, you feel me? Okay, here's the deal with cans. One, these break neutral guard. So, for those of you who don't know, in Tekken, there's something called neutral guarding, where if you're just doing nothing, I think as long as your last input was, or I think it's not even your last input or not. If you're just standing still and your opponent presses, your character will still block it. Right? So this is neutral guarding. In older games, the advantage of neutral guarding is that your opponent's attack would have less pushback. So there were certain moves like Paul's Death Fist, for instance, where you could neutral guard Death Fist and have an easier time launching it, right? So that's something that you could do. So first things first, this breaks neutral guard. If your opponent is just doing nothing, this will launch them, which is very annoying. You also can't low parry this because Asuka is airborne. In my opinion, you should be able to low parry cans. I think that not being able to low parry these is really insane. I don't think that's true. You don't think what's true? Think you can convert to blocking after the low hits you? Yeah. Yes, yeah, you can do that. I'm just saying this breaks your neutral guard. So if you let go of the controller and I can you, you're in the air. Yeah, that's all I was saying. But yeah, so one, you should be able to low parry this, because the fact that if you're just doing nothing, which neutral guarding, in my opinion, just doesn't do anything in Tekken 8. But yeah, if you're going to can, this, you should be able to well parry this on a hard call out, in my opinion. The fact that you can't is really obnoxious, because if I remember correctly, I think if you try to low parry a can, the first hit won't be blocked. It'll actually hit you. So let me have King do a sidestep low parry. Because against Asuka, you typically want to sidestep right duck. Well, heat smash should be launched. I completely agree. Okay, so typically against Asuka, you want to step right duck. So let's do a step right low parry. If I remember correctly, I don't think he'll block the first hit. You see? Because he's trying to low parry, he can't block the first hit. Not only that, it's breaking his neutral guard. Right? Because he's holding the low parry for like too long, he's getting launched for looking for a low parry. And just so you guys see, I am doing a what are this chick's lows? Okay, there we go. So I am doing a low here, right? So you can see I'm doing a low. If he commits to this low parry, he just died. I don't think that this should. I think you should be able to low parry can. Especially now that low parries are so nerfed compared to Tekken 7. In Tekken 7, you used to be able to get a tornado. I think it was called screw in Tekken 7. You used to be able to get a screw in a low parry combo. You don't get that anymore. I don't know why you can't low parry this. It doesn't make any sense. So they also crush Wells fast top kicks. Yeah, exactly. Not only that, in my opinion, I think these should be at least -10. Both June's and Asuka's. Assuming that we're not allowed to well parry these, this high should be at least -10. You shouldn't be able to just do this. Like, this shouldn't be real. Because something that will happen, right, is your opponent will say, okay, your turn's over, it's -8. I'm going to use, like, a slow plus frame button, right? So, let's say... What's going on, Blaze? So let's say that King does something like this, right? Let's say that King does this, right? This move is super plus on block, right? Yeah, this is +7 on block. If King is trying to get frames here, I can do this. Why? 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 This should be -10. I don't think it makes any... At least -10. Probably -12, at least -10. Doesn't make any sense for cans to be safe. And then June's, I think, is -7 and has pushback, if I remember correctly.
Get ready for the next battle.
Yeah, well, it's a -6 with pushback. This is basically a reset to neutral. Right? Like, this is nuts. So, yeah, in my opinion, these should be -10. Like, bare minimum. Or you should be able to low parry them. Like, just not... Yeah, I disagree with these moves existing in their current state. Yeah, also this plus on block mid that goes in the stance, that's homing, that high crushes, no. So yeah, that's like the next archetype of move. It obviously only applies to June and Asuka. Cans should be low parryable. I don't know what I just typed there. Or should be -10 to -12 on block. Okay. What other types of moves? Oh, I guess King and Armor Kings probably lose the homing throws and Giant Swing. In Heat. That's probably... Well, like, everyone knows that. I don't need to, like, make a video about homing Giant Swing is too good. Like, we all know that. Well, low heat smashes, yes, that's true. All low heat smashes should be launched on block. Especially because they all wall splat, right? I think they all wall splat. Let me see. Claudio's wall splats. Kazuya's wall splat. Or they wall break. Yeah, Kazuya's wall breaks. Lee's wall breaks. Lily's wall breaks. Paul's wall breaks. Victor's wall breaks. Yeah, and Shaheen. Yeah, okay, so they all wall break. Homing Giant Swing up to Heat Burst is criminal? Yeah, it's not correct. You want to hear my Diabolical Balance opinion? Alright, hit me with it. If Deuce doesn't like it, he might time you out, though, so good luck. Yeah, so if you say something crazy, it's not going to be good.
Get ready for the next
Cooney having a non-launch punishable homing Heat low is ruining for me. Yeah, Cooney's down 3 being homing is really cool. Big body character shouldn't be able to duck highs. That's hilarious. I don't think that makes any sense. So, let me level with you, okay? If let me level with you. If they had moves that, like, okay, here, let me level with you. Bacham is the most brawling dude in the entire game, right? So here, I'm gonna hear you out. This is my steel man of what you're saying. Should this be hitting Zhao Yu? Probably not. Right? Probably not. I don't think that's good for game balance, but this does look a little stupid. Right? So that's where I'll meet you where you're at. It looks dumb. For game balance, I don't think that works. Fakaram versus Gon. The funny thing is that's literally how Gon works. Gon was so low to the ground you couldn't jab him. Swap Kamram, true. So next let's talk about, honestly, Lydia as a character, but let's talk about some Lydia stuff. So Lydia, she has, in my opinion, I don't think this character is very good. But hear me out. The thing about Lydia is if you don't know what she does, she's going to run you over every single time. Because she does everything, right? This is a jumping, homing mid. Does this wall splat? I don't think this wall splats. Yeah, this doesn't wall splat. But it doesn't need to because it leads into a wall splat, right? So this is a jumping, homing mid that has a guaranteed follow-up. Probably shouldn't be in the game. Yeah, follows up into a wall splat, yeah. Not only that, if she's in heat, you can actually launch with this. This is a just frame, but you can launch with this. Let me see if I can do it. Yeah, you saw that connected. That's a launcher if she's in heat. Now, how many Lydia players are actually going for that? That's neither here nor there. But this is a homing mid that guarantees a heat engager. And when she's in heat, this is a jumping, homing mid heat dash launcher that's safe. That can't be right. Right? Surely we shouldn't have jumping, homing mid heat dash launchers. Never seen a Lydia do that before. It's rare that they'll even go for it. Yeah, they're usually not going to go for it. Unless they're, like, flexing on you. Because, like, if you get hit by that, like, you just have to put the fries in the bag, bro. Like, they're just better than you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you even say? It's like when a Kazuya hits a perfect electric on you. It's like, I mean, I guess he's just nice. Like, what am I supposed to say? Look, I can't say that's broken. Like, it is broken, but, like, look how hard it is, right? So, that's... Yeah. I report them if they land just frames. True. So, yeah. This... I think this move just needs to not go. Is plus 14 a normal hit healthy? No, absolutely not. In my opinion, she should only get plus 14 here if it wall crushes, and that plus 14 should be a plus 14G. So for those of you who don't know what that means, I can bring out Lily. Actually, I can bring out Dragunov, because Dragunov has one too.
Get ready for the next battle.
So the way that plus guarding frames work is that here, you see that Dragunov is plus 13. This isn't guaranteed, right? All this is saying is your opponent has to stand still for 13 frames. Right? Because if this was really what it says it was, this doesn't just be like the most broken move in the entire game. Because on counter hit, you get a guaranteed 48 damage wall splat into broken wall Oki. That's just not correct. So I think that Lydia's Horse 3, I think should be plus 14G only if she hits the wall. And if she does hit the wall, she'll be like plus 5 or something. In my opinion, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, plus the Dragunov. Yeah, exactly. Dragunov has the wall throw. It's too much. So that's how I think that Horse 3 should be balanced. But like, that's just in the same ballpark as just homing mids in general. You're trying to call out movement. The reward for calling out movement is that you hit them. This move already low crushes, and it's -4. Should it also guarantee a heat engager or guarantee a wall splat? Probably not. Right? I think for general moves, like general move archetypes, I think I covered everything. Oh, I guess there's this. Yeah, there's one more move archetype we gotta talk about. This is not correct. This is a plus on block mid string. That hard tracks one side. This is not correct. This needs to not be in the game. The plus 14 so we can hit Political Storm. Yeah, I just don't think you should be able to get anything guaranteed off of homing mid. Reverted back to -1. Yeah, the second hit is also a counter hero hit launcher. Yeah, nice. What options do you have in that stance? We have a hit confirmable heat engager. We have a homing high power crush that wall spots, right? This is wall spots. That wall spots.
7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
Thanks, Orzen, for the follow. Appreciate it. We have this low that plays a 4-hour-long cutscene, and he gets a no execution electric here. Right? So, which, that's a whole other thing. We're not going to talk about that because I'll freak out. At least not in this section. But mids that go into stance plus on block are not correct. That needs to, or just mids in general that go into stance. Yeah, so the only trap here is this homing high. So it's like, okay, you can crouch jab this, you can hard duck. The issue is this mid will tag you. We also have that will tag you. And this is actually faster than the armor. So if you duck, that's a real like 50-50. So that's not good. We have another move here to call out you crouch jabbing. Here's my +8 and 10 chip damage into an electric that is guaranteed. Also, Jin has homing electrics. What else do we have? We also have a homing mid from this stance. Sidestep right beats most options. So sidestep right does beat most options. The issue is we have a homing safe wall splatting mid. Yeah, so that's the issue, right? Is that this is already so strong. Could we also have a homing safe wall splatting mid? Right? Because like technically this on its own isn't bad, right? Like this is annoying, but it doesn't frame trap, right? So you have options. You can jab, you can duck, you can, do a sidestep duck to cover most things, but we have a wall splatting mid. That's safe and is homing. That's just not correct. So you could argue that the problematic move here is the homing mid and not the fact that this is +2, because Leo has a similar situation where like Leo's /4 is +9 into K&K, but like that +9 makes the stance functional. If it wasn't +9, the stance wouldn't do anything, right? So it's very similar to that, where this like kind of has to be +2 so that Jin can play the game. But if this is gonna stay +2, homing mid, it has to go. That's this isn't allowed to be in the game. Like we can't get a mid that tracks really well. Let me see, because I think this tracks both sides, right? Yeah, so I think a hard tracks left. Okay, it doesn't track on both sides. You can't step this right. Okay, that's not bad. Oh, but yeah. Okay, so you can't step it right. So you can step this left, which is good, or you can step this right, which is really, really good. But again, this completely homes to this direction. And then it also has a homing mid out of it, which is just, it's not correct. So I think if we have stance mix-ups that come out of mids, I think that could be okay. They shouldn't have a homing mids that come out of that also. That also wall splat, in my opinion. Okay. So I think that's the last, like, archetype of move. I'm okay with guard breaks. I generally don't really care for guard breaks. As long as they're slow. I think Jack's install guard break probably shouldn't be an install move. It should probably just be a charge move. Ads, yeah.
Get ready for the next battle.
Didn't have a homing mid. Azu crying because no guard break. True. Heat unblockable is fire though. I guess. Yeah, so weapon attacks are probably where I would go next. Bro, Jack's backdash is kind of godlike though. Okay, so personally, I think this, instead of this being an install guard break, I think this should be a charge guard break. I think that's the best way to balance this. So yeah, that's pretty minor. That's like a character specific thing, but that's what I would want to see changed about Jack. We can't beat Jack at all. No one knows the Jack matchup, so that's not so surprising.
Get ready for the next battle.
Either no charge or full charge. I think if guard breaks exist, they should be able to mid charge. I agree with that. One of the issues with charging is that it's going to take some number of frames for you to decide, oh, he's charging this move. Usually, if you recognize that they charge and then try to apply the counterplay, IDK if it's a lane specific, we shouldn't get heat smash when someone hit. Only Zhao Yu can do that, and trust me, that's like the #1 thing that I want to see removed from Zhao Yu. There's a couple of things that are Zhao Yu specific that only she has. She has the best tech trap in the entire game, and she gets it every time she blocks a low. I guess she's on screen, so I can just show it. So let me actually record this. I have to record it as a punish. Yeah, the Zhao Yu wall standing forward tech trap is the best tech trap, or it's not a tech trap, it's a wake up trap. This is the single best wake up trap in the entire game. There is no counterplay here, you have to guess. It's 4-4-3, right? Okay, so if you do a low against Zhao Yu, you have to tech roll here. If you don't tech roll here, you get relaunched. She'll just do a different route. You'll get relaunched. So you have to tech roll. Let's see. Let's try doing a wake up kick. So we'll kip up. We get counter hit. We'll spring kick. It's making me tech roll, but... Oh, I don't think I can spring kick from this angle, so that's fine. If I do nothing, I get picked up. So yeah, you have to tech roll here. Every single time, you have to tech roll. Top 5 wall standing 4. This is the best wall standing 4 in the game. It's not close. So, okay, that's fine. You have to tech roll. That's okay. So, this mid that she's doing here... let's see. This mid that she's doing here is a 16 frame counter hit launcher. So let me try to like crouch jab here on wake up. I actually didn't record this fast enough, so let me record it a little bit faster. Okay, this should work. I get counter hit launched. That means that if you tech this, you are now -6. This is not correct, to put it lightly. I don't even know if you can sidestep this. You might be able to step this to this right. Okay, so Lily and Alyssa can step this right. Let me see if regular characters can step this to the right.
Get ready for the next battle.
So we do... Okay, so if you tech right, you can step this right. Yeah, so you have to specifically tech roll right and then step this right. But like, that's not the point. The point is that after you evade the relaunch, you are holding a mix-up on -6. Or maybe King just can't, but King, true. But yeah, so I don't know if that should be in the game. I don't know if you making the correct call out of I'm going to tech roll this so I don't get relaunched, and then the reward you get is holding a -6 backturn mix up. That's not very good, to put it lightly. I think every single time Zhao Yu does while standing 4, she should go for that Oki, because I think it's broken. I think that's the best while standing 4 in the entire game. Laws is very good too. I think Laws is probably number 2, but that situation is insane. Like, that's not correct. Oh my god, Jin's backdash is worthless. In my opinion, that and the Heat Smash are the most egregious things about Zhao Yu, but that's just me.
Get ready for the next battle.
Yeah, that was pitiful. I didn't like that. So the big things about Alyssa is, contrary to popular belief, I actually think Alyssa is mostly fine. There are 3 things that I would change about Alyssa. What's going on, Asoro? How are we doing? So there are 3 things that I would nerf about Alyssa, and I think she's mostly fine. So the first, forward 1+2. This second hit is, I think it's completely homing. So if I do this, oh, so you can step this left, I guess. So I'm curious if it's only because I'm so far away. Because you don't usually use it that way. So, well, let me set this up in like a more reasonable... Okay, we'll do that. And then we'll do... Okay, so that hard track's right. And a hard track's left. So from full screen, this move is completely homing. You can't stop it. Not only is it completely homing, it's safe. Not only is it safe, that's guaranteed on counter hit. Not only is that guaranteed on counter hit, she gets an 89 damage wall splat. That's probably not correct. Right? Like that's probably not correct. Wait, well, which one is step right? Is this the step right? So let's see. It would be. Can you make one how to uninstall on every platform? True. Yeah. So I think that this move needs to not track at all, honestly. I think this should either be linear or only track her strong side. So, yeah, so, like, you can step this with really, really strong timing, but, like, that's so unreasonable. Nothing needs to be done about shoe shine. In my opinion, I don't hate shoe shines. So this is like a philosophy thing of like lows. I think a low is allowed to be good if it either... What's going on over Alfie? I think a low is allowed to be good if there's a like a barrier in front of that low, right? So yes, Alyssa has a shoe shine and that's +5 on hit. That's really, really good. She needs to be in full crouch, which means that she can't block in this, right? So you can just rip a mid, and there comes with more risk to this low than most other lows. Not fine with it tracking 180 degrees. I actually don't know how well this tracks. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm assuming, I can only assume it tracks the other one. Yeah, it doesn't track. I mean, this is -5, but like, how else is she getting it into full crouch? So I guess if she did that, so... Yeah, it does track really well. So yeah, if it tracks well here, it definitely tracks well here. But yeah, I mean, if she does a back one, then you can step it. So cool. I personally don't mind shoe shines, but I might change my mind on that later on. I'm not 100% sure. So cool. This move needs to not exist in the way it currently does. Next, her back 1/1 +2. This is a homing armored mid that goes into stand. Fully tracks both sides. Yeah. You cannot step this move. So that probably shouldn't be in the game. I don't know if a homing armored mid that goes into stance and wall spots, I don't know if that should be in the game. What's this off floor too? I don't think this should wall splat. I think this currently wall splats, right? Yeah, I don't think this should wall splat. Even it going into stance is probably a little bit too much. But yeah, I don't think that should wall splat. But that's more of like a systems thing. Like these are like specific things that I would change rather than like overall systems. So you still watch for season 3? Yeah, that which is incredible. So yeah, this move, and she can also use it when she's using stance. Not correct. This should not be homing. It shouldn't wall flat. The last move is her destruction back to 1. This is a homing mid that both hits are safe and the second hit floor breaks. Not only that, this is in a stance that has a homing high that comes out so fast that you can't do a step duck and evade that high, and it has a homing low. Why does this stance also have 2 homing mids? Why? Right, so that needs to not be homing. It should have no tracking to the right. It's already a floor break. I don't know why it needs to hard track both sides. So let me actually show you guys. Right, so that's sidewalk right. That's sidewalk left. No character in the game can step this to either side. So I think with those 3 things being nerfed on top of all the system stuff, I think that Alyssa's fine. Her damage is either really bad or very high at execution, and I think that's how damage should be, right? Like, can Alyssa get 86 damage off of her wall standing 2? Yes, she can get 86 damage off of wall standing. The issue is that is an exceptionally hard combo to do. Most people aren't doing that combo. No offense to Alyssa mains, most Alyssa mains are doing this. Because they don't know how to play the game. That's what most Alyssa mains are doing, right? So, that, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, those are the big things I would change. Her chip is questionable. Her chip is pretty bad. Well, like strong rather. I don't know if that's a place I would start, but the chip is pretty good. Okay, let's talk about Asuka now. I don't actually think there's a whole lot I would nerf about Asuka. You don't have to. You gonna talk about Azu? Yes. There are things that I would change about Azu. I don't know if that would be like overall nerf for her, but there are definitely things I would change about Azu. So for Asuka, there isn't actually all that much that I would change about this character. Like this being, so like the big thing about this character obviously is this, right? We have a plus on block, counter hit launching mid, and a plus on block homing counter hit launching high. Are you going through all the characters? Yes, I will be going through all of the characters. But like, now that this is +7, you can still kind of play the game. +7 is still probably too much. It should maybe only be like +5. But that's like a super minor nerf. I don't know if that's a nerf that I would even do unless other characters were getting pretty substantially nerfed. Again, at least in my opinion. The only nerf actually is this. I think this should be 32 frames. I think you should be able to react to this charge and step it on reaction. Even at 29, this is very hard to step on reaction. You already raise a pushback and make it slower. I agree. I have never seen someone step that move on a reaction. I've seen people step it on a hard read, but you can't. I'm not gonna say you can't. This is very hard to step it on reaction, even if you know it's coming.
Get ready for the next battle.
So basically on +7, highs like jabs and stuff are near impossible to step. It's very, very hard to step anything on +7 unless you're playing Lily or Alyssa. So let's do, or what's her snake edge? I don't know what her snake edge is. Fourth Warriors Battle. Yeah, this is a homing high plus on block launcher. That's probably not correct. Bro, how do nasty Asuka players do the snake edge? I don't remember. Down 4, 3, +4. Oh, okay, here we go. No offense to any Asuka mains in the chat. Am I doing the input wrong? Okay, right. So this is really hard to step on re-reaction. Let me Let me do another full crouch move, so it's obvious. Or it's less obvious. Because that was not very good. So... right, like, in the safety of practice mode, this is a little bit easier. You're never doing this in a real game, right? What does Asuka's install do? That's a good question. So it turns this move. This move loops her install. So she'll get her. So it makes this knock down and do this flip over on a normal hit. So if I do this, oh, let me turn off block. Okay, so her install turns this into a launcher that's safe, because normally this is not safe. But what it does is it buffs her forward 1+2, so that it loops her install on normal hit. It buffs her while running 1+2, so that loops her install on normal hit. And it makes her forward 2 safe. Oops. Yes, it will also loop into itself. Oh, yeah. It turns this into a normal hit launcher too, right? So this just turns into an orbital? Yeah, it turns this into an orbital. I don't know if that should be an orbital. Is it Brian's the same thing? No, it's not as easy for Brian to loop his install, in my opinion. Heavily plus on block orbital, yeah. Listen, it's a good install. I think characters are allowed to have strengths. I don't mind characters having things that they're really good at. Asuka has really good defensive utility, and once she has her install, she can slam some pretty insane frames. I think that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, in my opinion. I don't mind a character like Asuka being the way she is. In my opinion, this could be a hair slower, like 31 frames maybe, just so it's a little bit easier to sidestep on reaction. That's probably the only thing I would change. And then this, I would probably change it to be +5 instead of +7. So that's the only thing I'd really nerf about Asuka. I don't actually think this character is that problematic.
Get ready for the next battle.
All right, Azucena. Here's the issue with Azucena. This +4 is obnoxious because regular characters, you have to guess every single time she does this. Every single time she gets this +4, you have to guess. Typically, you want to sidewalk left this stance. You can step the jab, so that's good. And you can step the pressure low. That's good. Everything else is going to try. Obviously, the homing high is going to track you. Think you forgot. Oh, no, I said that. That move would be in the, like, general, this should be different, rather than, like an Asuka-specific nerf. I think a homing button, the reward is you stop your opponent from stepping, here's some frames. I don't think a homing launcher should exist, especially if it's plus on block. So yeah, this is the entire stance. You can step the jab, on +4, and you can step this pressure mid on +4. That's also counter launcher, by the way. So how do I get into stance? This is a counter launcher. So that is pretty good. I think making it less than +4 probably isn't the solution. What I would probably do is make lib 2 linear. I think that makes more sense. And maybe reduce the tracking on lib 1+2 a little bit and make it -13 instead of -14. I think that's what I would do. I think that these buttons, I don't know if this launcher should track here. Right? Like, yeah, I don't know if that launcher should track. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why are you actually smart? Bro, I'd be thinking. Oh, you can't connect this? Sure you can. Yeah, just because your combo's ass doesn't mean you're not connecting it, right? Yeah. I could see that. Cause like, depending on where the wall is, it could get like a weird side splatter or something, right? Yeah, like, this should track a little bit less. Cause like, what's the frames on 1-1? Well, on +8, everything's tracking there, right? So, like, for instance, on +5, because this low is a launch, I think it tracking there, I think that's fine. Yeah, I think this track... Why doesn't this track on +5? Bro, this character is dog shit. Why doesn't this track on +5? I guess +4 is just the magic number. Oh, I see. You're like jumping past them. So, if I do this. No, this just doesn't track. Yeah, this just doesn't track. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, so it's like a little bit further away than Queen. So, like, not here, but, like, here. I feel like you should be able to grab a lib personally. I think that's fine. Yeah, I guess you have to sweet spot the launcher on +5. This should just track on +5, in my opinion. I think that this should just not track. This, being a tracking button, completely shuts down most of the counterplay. And I think that's pretty absurd. I think that you should be able to step left duck this stance, then Azu should have a way to call that out, right? Because, for instance, I play Lily, and Lily has a very easy time in this matchup, right? It's gonna be annoying to record, but that's fine. So if I have her punish, that should be good enough to beat the Hell Sweep. It's not. Okay, I need to do a little bit faster. I don't think it was fast enough. That's probably fine. And does she still step the 2? Yeah. So this is what I do when I play against Azu. The way that Azu has to track Lily is this 4 option. This is usually going to be the best option for tracking Lily and Alyssa. So most Azu players will just default to the 4. The issue, of course, is this is a frame trap, right? So that Lily can just match her G-Clef here. So the Hell Sweep, we block. I think we still get tagged by the high here. No, we actually duck this too. We evade the mid. And the launcher will tag us sometimes. It's rare that launcher tags. But yeah, like, that's what my character does. And that's what Alyssa does. And because of that, there's really interesting mind games that can be played here for both players, right? So if Azucena wants to call this out, we do a delayed option. Now Lily can play a layer 2, where, oh, I think you're going to do a delayed option. I'm going to look for a counter hit launcher, right? What most characters do, and this is really fun. I'm sure you guys are all aware of this. What most characters do is they either Power Crush or they Crouch Jab. Couldn't hear the counterplay. True, true. So this is what most characters have to do. Which is not very interesting and it's not very compelling. So I think the way that you fix that is by nerfing the tracking on Lib 2. I think that's the way that you fix that. By nerfing the tracking on Lib 2, your opponent has counterplay. That was a mad boy. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, having to Power Crush or like Crouch Jab your way out of every mix-up is so lame. You know, it's just not fun. So that's the way that I would fix that. And that situation, it's the same here after Cartwheel. After Cartwheel, it's the same exact situation. You Crouch Jab or Power Crush, and then you're not having fun. So, you know, it is what it is, unfortunately. I think that's it. Oh, and then I guess the same thing is true here for back 2. So when she's in heat, it's the same situation with the +4, but now she's in heat, it'll auto launch lows, right? So now it's especially annoying. And again, by nerfing the Lib 2, I think Azucena is mostly fine. I think that is the one thing where it's like, this character could be really, really interesting if Lib 2 didn't track both ways on +4. So I think a Lib 2 nerf and a very, very slight nerf to Lib 1+2, I think that's all Azucena needs, and then she's basically fine. She's still strong. She still has an insane counter hit suite, right? We have this move is really insane. This move is really insane. Where is it? This move is really insane. This doesn't counter a launch, right? No. What else? Oh, this move is really insane. This move, really insane, right? Still confused why her back jab is not 8 frames. I have no idea. But like, she had some really messed up buttons, right? But like, her being able to do like a cool stance mind game thing, but also I'm gonna play really solid, here's my timing game, I think that's awesome. But the fact that, all right, it's time to guess. That's lame. I don't think that should be in the game, in my opinion. Brian, this character, needs to not exist. I think that's my take.
Get ready for the next battle.
One moment, I have to respond to this. Okay. Brian. I don't even know where to start with this guy. This low. This is a homing. Why? Why is this homing? You can't step it to either direction. Probably not correct. This low. This low is also homing. Can't step this to either direction. Why? Why does he have two homing lows? I don't understand. Lily might be able to step this left. I'm curious if she can step it left. Lily wants to go left against Brian anyways, so, like, that's fine. I am curious if she can step this left. Okay, so Lily can step this one left. She can't step the other low, so... yeah, not good. Lily and Alyssa, they'll be able to step this one. Regular characters, they have to just hold that. So, that's not good. Not a fan of that one. Let's put Jin back on, because Jin has normal sidestep. Back one, I think it's fine. This move is actually pretty linear. You can step this both ways. It is an elbow, which is cringe, but whatever, it's fine. You can step it both ways. I think that move is fine. Brian's weak side is right. So typically, we want to step Brian to his right. You can see here, like, this move is, you just clean, get away from this move. You get away from back one. That's good. The issue is this. This is a plus on block counter hit launcher that tracks the weak side. That's 16 frame start. And it's a knee, so it can't be parried. Does back 1+2 track more? That would be hilarious. I know there's some moves that work like that. Maybe you can't step this left. Yeah, Law's down forward 2 is disgusting. Yeah, it doesn't seem to track more in this game. So this move, this joint right here, not correct. Plus on block knee that's really fast tracks with a weak side. Why? Doesn't make any sense. We also have while standing 3. So Brian, let me switch stages.
Get ready for the next battle.
Yeah, forward 3 is plus on block. Yeah, correct. So Brian does this really awesome thing where every time he counter hit launches you, I press on blah blah. You take 90 to damage into taunt Oki, which is the best wall Oki in the entire game. So you're risking 90 damage. Brian is risking 25. And maybe a knockdown. Maybe a knockdown. Not only is he only risking 25 damage, again, this is 12 frames. If you force Brian in crouch and he rips this, you're not having a good time. So you're thinking, okay, that's fine. I'll just block and punish, right? Like, duh. What kind of idiot doesn't just block and punish this, right? Like, don't be stupid, streamer, okay? I'm just gonna block it. How good could this move be if I just block it every single time, right? This move is obviously terrible. Plus 29, you're getting taunt jet upward. At least in my games. In my games, I'm getting taunt jet upward every time I mash here. Now, obviously, if you think he's going to delay it, then you can interrupt it. So, that's fine. But if he doesn't delay it, you're taunt jet upward. You just lost the entire game. Because now, you're going to take 100, because what? The second hit is 25 damage. So now you're taking 115 into Wall Oki, which again, Brian has the best Wall Oki in the entire game. All off of a 12 frame panic button. Should that be in the game? Probably not. Here's another one. Second hit is delayable. It's minus 10. Minus 10, how bad could that be, right? Surely this gets like a counter hit knockdown or something, right? Like, it's not that good. Yeah, you're getting wall to wall. You're taking 115 damage into taunt Oki at the wall, which is the best Oki in the entire game. From a delayable minus 10. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Here, we have a homing button. That's a mix-up on block. Now, if you're very good at the video game, this isn't actually a mix-up. You just duck here every time, and then you tech roll the heat engager, right? So, it's not actually a mix-up. Except, it still is. Because, guess what? At a really high level of games, the Brian player knows you're going to do the tech roll. They get to walk up to you and taunt jet offer you. You're dead because you tried to be a hero and duck this. So now you have to stand block this because you can't possibly risk ducking this and then getting taunt jet upward. Should that be a mix-up on block? Probably not. I think this wall splats. Oh, this doesn't wall spot. Okay. This move is kind of fine. I don't like this giving a guaranteed follow-up, but whatever. Is it? Yeah, whatever. I would probably nerf this, but this kind of goes aligned with the homing move shouldn't give guaranteed follow-ups if you block against Brian. Oh, this goes under high sometimes. I don't mind weird hitbox stuff. It's annoying. Don't get me wrong. I play Willy. I be Matterhorning, okay? So, trust me. Weird hitbox stuff, super annoying. I think that this sometimes evading stuff, I think it's fine. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think the bigger deal is you getting a guaranteed follow-up here. I don't love that. That's a little bit too much in my opinion. I think it should do like this, where it force back rolls you, but also it doesn't wall spot. I think that would be like the best fix for that move in particular. Hatchet, this tracks too much. This is near impossible to step if you're playing a regular character. So it tracks way too much. You're supposed to step it left, which again is Brian's strong side. Don't know if that should be in the game, but yeah, this is a unreactable low that has heavy frames, only minus 13, and it gives a guaranteed follow-up on counter hit, right? That's pretty good. I'm not sure that this move should also be near impossible to step. That's just me. In my opinion, Taunt should have its damage scaling back. This not having any damage scaling feels wrong. I understand that we want to reward Brian players for their execution, but they're already getting rewarded for their execution, right? Like, how is this not a good enough reward? That's a really good reward for your execution. I think that doing, 20% less damage, I think it's fine. It gives your Brian opponent more chance to taunt jet upper you. Everyone wins. So yeah, that's, I think taunt shove is damage scaling back. This move is just not correct. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know what the plan was here. This should be 0 on block, or it shouldn't track as well, or it shouldn't counter hit launch. In my opinion, if it's going to stay +5, it should only give soccer ball on hit. That's my opinion. I feel like this being +5 and tracking sidewalks, this is homing if you're sidewalking. Soccer ball is this. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, Hatchet using... Hatchet counter hit launching is insane. That is so funny. If Hatchet counter hit launch in this game, you used to get a soccer ball on hit. Yeah. I think... Oh, on hit. Yeah, you're right. On normal hit, you used to get soccer ball. I think this should give soccer ball on counter hit. And on normal hit, it should do what it does now. If it only gives soccer ball on counter hit, I think being +5 is fine. If this is still going to counter hit launch, this needs to be 0 or like -2. Should Brian really have a counter hit launcher that hits from range 3.2? Should Brian really be able to electric you from back here? Right? Like, I don't know if I should be getting electric from back here. I'm going to be 100% with you guys. That's a lot. Actual electrics don't reach that far. Yes, if you duck a QCB1, you basically get to launch it every single time. So I personally don't mind like its whiff recovery or anything. But yeah. Pretty brutal in my opinion. Oh, I totally forgot. I don't know how I could forget this. What is this? One, this animation will look stupid. Let's start there. This is not cute. I'm gonna be honest with you. Second, that animation is hilarious. That move is so funny. You can't low parry this. This will reversal break. And it's +7 on hit. Why? There are very few moves I think should just be deleted from the game. I think this move I think this needs to go. There's also this. This one. So this knocks down on normal hit. And it forces crouch. So you would think, hold on, how do I get my install? Okay. So you would think, okay, this knocks down on normal hit, and then I can Northern Cross here. So, perfect, right? That's not bad for an install move. That's a pretty good install move. Except, that's not actually the follow-up you're supposed to do. This is the follow-up you're supposed to do. He just gets his install back. Why? Why do we have an armor that gives us back our install? For what? Doesn't make any sense. So that just shouldn't give install. Yeah, and it does more damage. Exactly. That should not do what it does. Yeah. Full crouch hatchet. You should be able to low parry it at the very least. +7 on hit is crazy. Should probably be -14 at the bare minimum. Honestly, it should be -15 if you want me to be honest with you guys. But at least -14, and you should be able to low parry it. Oscar's forward 1+2 Aro, and I'll give her Gusto. True. I think every armor should get install actually. Yeah, you've convinced me. Those are now. That's obviously a lot of stuff. He still has this, which still heat dash launches. I'm not sure heat dash launcher should be in the game, but We don't want to obliterate Heat, okay? Heat is a cool system that was poorly executed. There's a world where Heat can just be fine. That's okay. We'll let him keep his Heat dash launcher. That was a lot of nerfs, but I think Brian is mostly fine.
Get ready for
Claudio?
the next battle.
I don't actually know if I would nerf Claudio that much. I think this tracks a little bit too much. This is very... If you're not playing Lily or Alyssa, you, like, can't step this. What's going on, Quack? How are we doing? Way too much damage for how easy they are. I agree. I think Brian's damage should be... I think his damage... I don't even know his damage should be lower. You'd have to work really hard to get access to his damage. Wall splatting guard break. He does have a wall splatting guard break. You should never hold the guard break. So if you're getting wall splat by that, that's on you, in my opinion. Because it doesn't wall splat unless he full charges it, so you should just sidewalk it. So I personally don't mind it. Oh, but I guess him and Fang are the only wall splatting guard breaks left. So I guess for the sake of, like, just deleting wall splatting guard breaks from the game, I could see it. Yeah, it's probably fine. Like, you just make it plus 10 on hit or something, and then he gets this, or whatever. That's probably fine. I do think this tracks a little bit too much. That's just me, though. I'm of the opinion that you get a guard break, you shouldn't get a wall combo. I agree. I think that's fair. Yeah. So the only thing I would really change, outside of like general guard break stuff, is this probably tracks too much. I'm not sure if it should have lost its counter hit property. I think this move can get its counter hit property back if it doesn't track as much as it does. This is near impossible to step, in my opinion. Claudio strong, but honestly one of the most up forward too. This move is also very hard to stop. Can you force recover and crouch? You can. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I'm new to the game. It's like hell in the whole special style thing. I don't mind special style because it's just worse than playing the game normally. Wasn't up to nerfed recently. Yes. This move only has one active frame now, so it's much easier to sidestep. I don't think this can loop it into itself anymore. Yeah, this doesn't loop into itself anymore. This used to have so many active frames that, like, this was real neutral. But yeah, I honestly think outside of like general guard break stuff, the only thing I would change is sidestep forward tracking a little bit less. I think it tracks too much. It's still a diabolical move. It's very good, but I do think that character should be allowed to have good moves. We've talked about general things, and then Alyssa, Asuka, Azucena, Claudio, and Brian. And then here are the general notes that I have. So these are all like the types of moves that I would nerf. Oh, and then also guard breaks shouldn't give a wall swap. So these like general moves, and then the 5 characters that I've talked about. You talk about King should get buffed? Yeah, for sure, Smile. I definitely want that. I'm smiling really hard right now.
Get ready for the next battle.
So, Deviljin? You guys probably aren't going to agree. So for G-Clef, it's Heat Engager or Wall Spot, but on both? Yes, exactly. Okay. Here's the thing with Devil Jin. I think Devil Jin is mostly fine. He takes a lot of risks, but there are two things that are not correct. This, I believe, tracks both sides. Laser Scraper tracking both sides is obnoxious. Why do we have a homing mid string that is a mix-up on block? That's not good. I just disagree. I don't think this should be homing.
7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
Thanks for all type for the follow. Appreciate it. I think this being homing is insane. Not only that, this is technically a mix-up, right? So for those of you who don't know, Laser Scraper actually jails. So if I try to have Jin duck here, he can't duck. Most people don't know that this jails. The issue, Devil Jin can delay this. And now it no longer does. I don't know if he should be able to delay this. I feel like there's already a mid-high mix-up here. The fact that there's also a timing mix-up on my homing mid-mid is probably not correct. I just super disagree with this being homing and having a timing mix and having a high-low mix. Or a mid-high mix, right? Oh, yeah. And then we have a 50-50 here. Technically, you can fuzzy this, but whatever. I don't mind down forward one mix-ups. I think that's fine. I don't like mid-low mix-ups that are also mix-ups with timing mix-ups. That is absurd. I hate that. I think that's terrible design. So, personally, I don't think you should be able to delay the second hit here, and I think it should track one of the other sides. It shouldn't track both. This being homing is too much. So that's the first thing that I would nerf. What's going on, Black? How are we doing? The second thing that I would nerf, Devil Jin's his flash punch is homing. Why? Why? For what? I don't know why this is homing. So that's what I would change. I think Laser Scraper shouldn't be homing, and you shouldn't be able to delay the second hit. And Flash Punch shouldn't be homing. This heat engaging is really cheesy, but like, it's fine. I don't think this heat dash launches that anymore, right? Or this doesn't heat dash launch, right? This is fine. I don't mind this. I would probably remove it as a heat engager in like my game, but it's fine. Yeah. It's a launch, so it's fine. Despite how strong Dragunov is, I don't actually think he needs that many nerfs. Which I know a lot of people. What's going on, Mason? How are we doing? Plus on block backswing blow with the heat dash. I mean, that's true, but I think heat making everything
7 minutes.
plus 5.
7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
Thanks, Mason, for the follow. Appreciate it. I think heat making everything plus 5 is probably not correct, but I would want heat to just be reworked. So, you know, it is what it is. Not much lights went out while I was playing ranked. Yeah, I mean, that'll do it. So, I already talked about 1-1-2-1. I don't think that this should wall splat. Or it should heat engage. If it does wall splat, that's fine. Don't think it should heat engage. It should be one or the other. What I do think needs to be nerfed outside of the 1-2-1 stuff, I don't think Pigeon Roll 2 should hit grounded. I am not a gooner, so you need to shut that lip. I don't think this should hit grounded. In my opinion, the Pigeon Roll mix-up should be a hard call-out on your opponent tech roll. Which I think that's totally fine. If your opponent tech rolls, then you can say, okay, I'm calling you out on tech rolling, so I'm going to run my Pigeon Roll mix. If they don't tech, then you don't get them in mix-up. I think that's totally fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But like, that's honestly it. Outside of 1-2 1-up and Pigeon Roll stuff, there's not a whole lot that I would nerf. Yeah, I am not a gooner, so we can shut that lid. Wall Running 2 is really good. Dragunov's damage is insane. His combos are really insane. Like, that's a lot, right? I think he should be allowed to do a lot of damage. I don't know. Maybe Hatchet shouldn't be homing. This is exceptionally difficult to step. You need to... I don't know if you can step it. I'm going to be honest. I think because the range is so pitiful, that's what was going on here. Make his combos harder. I can agree with that. Like, I think something like this... Like, if that was the Dragunov staple to get wall-to-wall, I think that's totally fine. But, like, the fact that we can just do this, you know, baby mode... Like, obviously I dropped it because I'm bad. But, like, we can do this, and this isn't, like, that hard. I don't know if you should be able to do that and just wall-to-wall for free, right? So, that's just me. Yeah, that's the only thing that I would change, in my opinion, is Pigeon Roll 2 hitting grounded, and then actually, there is one more thing. I want you guys to look at Jin's health bar. That's 14 chip damage. That can be like 8, right? That can be like 8. Especially because of wall splats. And, in case you didn't know, this does 35 damage on normal hit. That's probably too much, right? Like a little bit too much. And it's +5 on block. And it wall splats. And it does 85 damage. Probably a little bit too over-dimensioned, in my opinion. So, that move is, you know... Yeah, that's a little bit too much. Fang is character an abomination if you play Fang. I'm happy that you found a character that you like. If I say the other thing, I'll probably get banned. So, we won't say the other thing. This move tracks really well. So, let me see. There are certain frames where you can't step this, and it's very annoying. How do I do? Oh, it's down by 4. Yeah. So like, yeah, he makes you play 2D Tekken, true. So here's the issue with Fang. Fang's like 50-50 is down back 3 and down forward 3, right? What are your thoughts on King? Would he be a good character main? Yeah, King is really good. I think Armor King's better, which I don't think that's a controversial opinion now. That probably would have been controversial last season, but I think Armor King is very slightly better than King. King is really good. I think that Fang being able to like 50-50 you with this huge low and this huge mid is really annoying. Yeah, I think Armor King is broken. Like, when we talk about Armor King, actually, I've been skipping a lot of the DLC characters. I'll go through the DLC characters up to Fakaram, and then we'll go back in order. But yeah, this low combined with this mid is really annoying. Because you get to do really annoying shit like this, where your opponent just has to guess. Right? Like, stuff like that is super, super annoying.
7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
Thanks, Quacked Frog, for the follow. Appreciate it. That's really annoying, but that's fine. If the only issue with Fang is the damage, if Downpour 3 did only like 50 to 60 damage, just makes up, it looks fine. That's probably true. Oops, late arrived to the stream. Who's been discussed? We've talked about everyone from Alyssa to now Fangway. I'm going to be putting out a video of this on my YouTube channel. So, yeah, it's probably going to be really long, but I think it'll be a fun discussion piece. But yeah, so I think this low tracks too much. Like, way, way too much. I think this low needs to track a little bit less. I'm now going to show you guys something very interesting here. This move is 12 frames fast. Okay. 12 frames. Just want you to keep that number in your mind. So we're going to test on 0, right? Okay, it tracks left on 0. This is a 12 frame homing mid. Now, sure, it only does 10 damage. That's true. It does 10 damage. Sure, it's a -10 on block. Except, is it really? When it has a follow-up. Not only that, okay, listen, it has a follow-up. Who cares, right? That's cringe, okay? The follow-up is a high, right? So we'll just duck it. Except, you know, you're going to be a hero and you're going to duck this, right? I don't know if that should be in the game. This, if they want this to like hard track his weak side, totally fine with me. Yeah. This will wall slide if you end up ducking. Oh yeah, when they start doing this when they're in heat, it's just broken. You can't do anything about this. Like, this is unironically one of the best rings in the entire game when Fang is in heat. Because, like, you can't ever duck, especially if you're back against the wall because of this. So yeah, you also can't dick jab it because he jumps here. Yeah, it's not correct, we'll say. If they wanted this to like hard track his weak side, that's totally fine. They say, listen, you're looking out for back 4, you should step right. That would be cool. But it's a homing. So yeah, that's not good. Don't know why we can shifting clouds from back turn. Don't know whose idea that was. That's not correct, but you know, it is what it is. That should probably just get reverted in my opinion, but you know, whatever. The heat string is so annoying that every Fang just spams it when they go into heat. So the really nice thing about this string is you can sidewalk it left. On some characters. You're supposed to go right against this? Hold on. Jin can't sidewalk this. Hold on. Hold on. Alright, well, get shit on Jin players. Okay, let's just try like a regular female side step. Oh, am I sidewalking and that's the issue? Yeah, okay, yeah. You're supposed to sidestep. Yeah, so you can step this, which is really, really nice. You don't have to hold this mix up here. The vast majority of Fang players, I would say, if you're Honestly, if you're under God 6, if you see a Fang do back 4 and they're in heat, it's back 3+4 every single time. I would not expect a back 4-2 in heat unless Fang is God 6 or God 7. Playing embarrass something you jab float too. True. So yeah, I think for Fang, the tracking on down back 4 needs to go. The tracking on back 4 needs to be nerfed at least to one side. Shoulder should not be homing in heat. I do not know why this shit is homing in heat. This is ridiculous. You can sometimes step this right. I wonder if Azucena can walk this in. Because this is exceptionally difficult to step in heat. At point blank, it looks like you are able to step this right. Out in the open, you can't step this. I'm curious if, like, Brian will be able to step this right.
Ready for the next battle.
Yeah, because, like, she has a small hitbox. Okay, so it looks like you can step this or walk this on immediate timing. And only if Fang doesn't have plus frames. Yeah, so you need to do exactly a side step, not a side walk, in order to Fang's strong side, in order to step this. And again, that's only on immediate timing, right? That's not including if you're just out in the open and you're just sidewalking, right? If you're just doing this, this is basically impossible to sidestep. Right, like, if you're moving out in the open, you're not stepping it. Oh, we know Brian can step it because we know Brian can step it because needed to mogul. Yeah. So yeah, shoulder tracking in heat needs to go. I don't even know if it should track at all. I think it should be completely linear, in my opinion. Down back 4 needs to track a little bit less, and then back 4 needs to only track to one side. Besides that, I think Fang is actually fine. His wall combo is a little bit too good, in my opinion, but he's like mostly fine. Okay, so we'll do Eddie next.
Get ready for the next battle.
Down back 3, yeah, correct. Will you make a video about the nerfs? Yes. So, Eddie has 2 problem moves, in my opinion. I think size up 3+4 hit Eddie. This move is really annoying. I think it's fine. You know, if Eddie wants to use this as keep out, amen, brother. Eddie has 2 moves I think are too good. 4-4-3. I think his move is too good. And it's handstand down forward 1. Oh, let me get out of let me get out of heat. Handstand 1. So handstand 1 does not track very well. So that's the one, you know, blessing about this move. The issue with handstand 1 is Eddie is so close to you that you can't backdash the hell sweep anymore. Typically against this stance, you want to backdash. So if you see here, this doesn't clean hit. Because this doesn't clean hit, you can actually block the second hit. Even on +6, there's no clean hit here, even on +6. The issue is on this +6, he's so close to you at this clean hits. And on this +6, he's so close to you that he clean hits. So what does that mean? Well, that means that now This low doesn't matter. It's fine to get hit by this. You have to hold this mid. You have to hold this mid. You have to hold this mid. And you have to hold that, right? So it's a bunch of mids, a non-threatening low, and then this health sweep. So you would think, okay, that's fine. I can backdash, and you see, you just escape all of this. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Because of this clean hit, that's a real 50-50. Every single button in this stance tracks except the safe mid that wall flies. Every single button in this stance tracks. So because every single button in this stance tracks, that makes this move broken. If you can't react to this, this move is insane. In my opinion, that's just not correct. The same thing. Oh yeah, back once on homing. This is a 14 frame homing mid. I don't know if we should have a 14 frame safe for homing mid. That kind of defeats the purpose of it being 14 frames, right? It's supposed to be like a fast poke. Oh yeah, this is all guaranteed, right? That's all guaranteed. I forgot that's all guaranteed. Yeah, and then he gets a guaranteed follow-up there. Yeah, I don't know why it's a 14 frame homing mid with a really strong counter hit property. That just doesn't... That's not what homing mids are supposed to do. That's just... Yeah, that's not what homing mids are supposed to do. Yeah, so... Back 1, 4, 3 plus 4. Yeah, and that's guaranteed. That's a 61 damage safe homing mid. That's 14 frames. That's not correct. So this, at the very least, should not be homing. At the very least, this shouldn't be homing. If they're gonna have it keep its tracking, should probably be minus 12. Like, if this is going to be homing, this should be minus 12, especially because it's also a string mix-up. Right? It has a follow-up. Yeah, this move is really good. I don't mind this move. A lot of Eddie players try to take their turn after this, and like, listen, okay? If an Eddie player does this, and they take their turn after, that's a little bit your fault. Right? Like, this is minus 5 on hit. That's a little bit your fault. I do think this tracks both sides, though, right? Oh, it doesn't track left. Oh, no, that's not true. I lied. This is homing. Oh, yeah. These have very similar animations. Very, very similar animations. Isn't this a counter launcher? Is that a normal hit launcher? That's a normal hit launcher. Okay. What is this on block? Oh, it's a minus 12, but you have to float him, and then if you're a little bit late, then you just die. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, you have to be really sharp on this float, though. But yeah, I think those are like the really broken moves. Is this needs to either leave Eddie further away from you, or I don't know, they reduce the clean hit range. This is good. You can't hit confirm it. You have to Twitch confirm this, and like, I've never seen someone to Twitch confirm that in my games, right? So yeah, like, I think Twitch confirmable counter hit launchers, I'm down for it. When we start hit confirming them, that's when it's a little bit too much. But like the really broken shit on Eddie, in my opinion, is the tracking and frames here, the mix up after this, and the mix up after this. I think those three things need to get nerfed on this character. What's the difference between a Twitch confirm and a hit confirm? So a Twitch confirm is like you are like your finger is on the second button waiting to see if the first hit counter hit, and then you're like ripping it as fast as you can, right? So I'll actually switch to Lily for a second because that's all the moves I want to talk about with Eddie, because Lily has a really good example of this.
Get ready for the next battle.
His spike combo, I don't actually know his spike combo, but I don't mind spike combos existing because everyone has them now. So I'm not like an anti-spike combo hater, but that's just me. So Lily's down forward 4-4 on counter hit. This is a hit confirmable. So you see, oh, I noticed the first hit connected. I can press the second hit, and you can press it kind of late, and you can hit confirm that. Or back turn 1-4 is like this too. This is actually a recent change, but this is hit confirmable. Especially if it counter hits. Twitch confirmable is like Lily's QCF 2-1. You see, if I delay this even a little bit, this isn't a natural anymore. So a Twitch confirm is like you're locked in, waiting for the second hit, and then as soon as you see the counter hit, okay, press it. Like, let me see if I can show you with a random block. Like, this is really hard. It's also not something that I've practiced. I think I only have 7 outfits. Yeah, I have 7, and I don't use these two very much. But yeah, that's the biggest difference. I think Lydia just needs to be reworked. That's not even like a balance thing. She just needs to be a different character. Talk about Heihachi. Twitch confirming is reacting to the change of reaction. Yeah. Like, it's basically how many frames you have to confirm what you're looking at. Cause Heihachi has one. I don't remember what it is though. Obviously, Warrior's Instinct is just a crazy. It's not good.
7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
Thanks to Bug Parade for the follow-up. Appreciate it. Isn't this a normal hit launcher, or is that forward 4? Oh no, this doesn't launch. It guarantees that you can use it. I think this move is good. This move hard tracks sidestep right, which is really toxic. It makes sidestepping actually very annoying because back 4 hard tracks sidewalk left, and then forward 3 hard tracks sidewalk right. Does the headbutt straight up launch and he only? This only launches on Warrior's Instinct. I'm ass, but that's fine. So obviously Warrior's Instinct is too much. This, I don't know if Heihachi should get a 12 frame launcher. That's a lot. You know, you do. Does Brian even have any minus 12s? I know he has some minus 14s. Let's see. What does Brian have that's minus 12? Oh, soccer ball kick. This is minus 12. Yeah, so. Yeah, hey, I actually could have launched that. That's a lot. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know if he should be launching that, but that's just me. Warrior's Instinct, if it's to exist in the game, I think that's fine. I think a better way of changing this 4-3-4. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, Brian's 4-4-4-3-4. Yeah. What I think if they wanted to have this in the game the way it is, he gets stomped. I think that's totally reasonable for, again, a 12 frame punish that will probably wall splat. That's my opinion. Are you winning? Well, I'm talking about nerfing Heihachi, so yes. So yeah, this needs to go. I don't remember his wall combo, but yeah, needs to go. That's not correct. Second, hell sweep. This needs to be minus 12 bare minimum. Probably needs to be minus 13. The fact that if you're not playing June or Lee, you get 0 punish here is insane. Heihachi takes no risk when he goes for this. Whenever he wants, he just... Oh, it's time to guess. Like, yeah, that is insane to me. I don't think that should be minus 10. At the very least, it has to be minus 11. Should probably be minus 12 or minus 13. Or at least has a low parry second hit. Yeah, exactly. It also deals chip. Yeah, it also chips. That's cool. This, I don't know if you guys see the range on this. This is a range of 4 normal hit launcher. You whiff anything against this character, you are in the air every single time. Or make Lily's back turn 1+2 minus 10 again. That would be hilarious. That would be so toxic. People already talk about how Lily is the worst thing to ever happen to Tekken now. If her back turn 1+2 is minus 10, no. The amount of slurs that Lily mains get called would skyrocket. So yeah, in Heat or in Warrior's Instinct, that should probably not have like what, double the range. Yeah, like, come on. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I think it should have a lot less range. People don't already... Oh, no, they already do, but it would be like 10 times worse. So, I don't mind this being +8. The reason I don't mind this being +8... I get called source of the local is fun playing. Yeah, I mean... You know? True. W playing Lily, I guess. But yeah, so this being a +8 is fine because, like, we have this low. And we have this low. These are both minus on hit. And we have this, which is reactable. This being Heihachi's only low, and it also being +8, I think it's fine because it also staggers. Now, it staggers, which, you know, it's a huge risk that Heihachi has to take. But when this is his only low, how are you ducking him, right? I think that is a decent balancing mechanism. Yeah, I think that's fine. So I don't mind single hell sweep. I think double hell sweep should be minus 12 or minus 13. The other thing that I would nerf, again, this is a systems thing. This being a homing mid wall splatting armor mid. I'm trying to learn how to arc blast. Lars is so good. I think Lars doesn't actually need that many nerfs compared to most of the casts, but Lars is still, he's so strong. This being a homing is just not correct. This being a homing and being a mid and a wall splatting and being armored is too much. That needs to go. Two of those properties need to not be here anymore. Heihachi is very, very difficult to step in the neutral. Personally, I don't step him in neutral. At least not that much. Oops, I'm bad. The other thing I would change is the wall combo. This is homing. So if Heihachi catches you on a side wall, he can stabilize the wall combo when he's in heat by doing this. And I don't like that. I don't think that should be homing. That's just a lot. So that's personally what I would change. So yeah, that move does literally everything. Yeah, and it's safe. The ground pound, this is an AoE circle around him. Even if you're behind Heihachi, still hits him. That needs to not do what it does. I think that's it. Hellsleep does track a little bit too much, but like Heihachi's allowed to do a lot of damage. He's allowed to have good punishment. I don't think you should have a 12-frame launcher. That's a lot. I think second Hellsleep should be minus 13. First Hellsleep probably shouldn't track as much. The homing armored mid needs to do less things. Maybe this should be a little bit easier to step. Oh, you know what? This second hit being homing is ridiculous. I hate this move. It's only 18 damage, so that's fine. But it's plus 4 on hit. This just shouldn't be homing. I absolutely despise this move. Regular Heihachi is fine. I think regular Heihachi is still really, really good. Wall combo should be changed. It's so ugly. I do not like his wall combo. I think Heihachi is kind of funny. But yeah, this being homing is disgusting. So yeah, this being nerfed, second hell sweep being nerfed, and this not launching. Those are like the big things that I would change. All right. Who is next? Clive.
Get ready for the next battle.
So Clive has too many goddamn homing buttons. I'm gonna be real with you guys. The whole kit is homing, and I've had enough. This is homing. This is homing. This is homing. No homing trails, by the way. This is actually homing. We love Clive, Final Fantasy 16. Yeah, I mean, I think at this point in the game, Clive is almost cool. The way you're supposed to play against Clive is you let him do whatever he wants in neutral, and you let him try to mix you up because his mix-up aren't very good, right? If I switch to a hopkick character, it's actually really easy to show. If you have a hopkick, Clive can't really mix you up, in my opinion. Delete Clive, add Noctis. I haven't played with Noctis yet, so I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Get ready for the next battle.
So we'll have him punish. Electrum Punishment, hop kick. So lightning would be cool. The issue is that Tekken players really don't like women. Like, that's like their least favorite thing. Is women and getting like rage arted. Yeah, super don't fuck with women. So, here's the thing with Clive. Wait. Oh, that's right. They changed the frames on that. Okay, my bad. I mean, it's still fine. So, the armor will beat your hop kick. You'll get floated for 28 damage. Okay. This 2 option will float you. That's fair. Clive gets launched. 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 And that's not possible. If we switch to +6, now we trade with the armor. We still get floated. Clive gets launched. Clive gets launched. He gets launched. And even the throw, he still gets launched. You can dow jab to win anything except power crouch 3+4. You can actually crouch jab 3+4 if he's not like crazy plus. A lot of people don't know that. Despite being a jumping move, it takes him so long to go airborne that you can actually crouch jab him. I think you can crouch jab him on +4. Yeah, you see? On +4, you can crouch jab him. Even on +6, you can crouch jab him. You can't crouch jab him on +8. Is dick jab the best option if you don't have a hop kick? Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be your best bet. And then, of course, if Clive is entering on minus frames, it's way worse, right? So if Clive is doing this, now the hop kick is going to be the 2 option, which is brutal. So what I think is that this probably shouldn't be homing, or this probably shouldn't be homing, or this probably shouldn't be homing. Personally, I would nerf this. I don't know if a weapon steel pedal homing mid that floats airborne opponents, I don't know if it should do all of those things. I don't know if it should do all of those things, especially because he has a steel pedal. This is a steel pedal. This also hits grounded. I wonder if it pancake flips. Yeah, this doesn't pancake flip, but this is also a steel pedal, right? This one pancake flips, so like this one's godlike. But yeah, wall splats, pancake flips, tornadoes, airborne opponents, counter hit launches, hits grounded, and is homing, and is a mid, and is a weapon, and it's safe. 5 of those things can probably go, and Clive is still nuts. So have him stand up. So personally, this I think is the most egregious move he has. He deserves his guild, true. Because like this is what's it called? This is homing. It's a high, right? So I don't think it transitions on the whip either. Yeah, it doesn't transition on the whip. This low is homing, but you can sidestep duck to evade while standing 4 and evade the low, right? So I think that's fine as well. This being homing is too much. The only other thing that I would change, which you guys are probably gonna be mad at me for not mentioning more stuff, but that's fine. Don't care. I'm gonna have Armor King hop kick here. And then I'm gonna go into heat. Where is heat? I can't find it. Okay. The only other thing that I would change is I think this string should jail. I think this whole thing should jail. They hit Clive really well with his most. Yeah, yeah. So the annoying thing is that this is a three-way mix-up, right? So we have him block after 2 hits. Right? So I think you should be able to just mash a hop kick here after blocking the first hit. Right? The fact that you have to react to where he's stopping in the string is too much, and it makes it really hard to counterplay this string. Like, you can dick jab this and beat basically everything. This is near impossible to react to with a low launcher. The third string of it. So the third string is actually a high, but like, you're gonna try to be a hero and duck that. Here, you just duck. You're wall spot now. I think that the most efficient fix for this is this string should jail, regardless of what. You can't react to this. Are there people really reacting to the difference between these two? If you can react to the difference between that, then you're the GOAT, and yeah, I mean, yeah, you're just way better than me. So that's, I don't know a single person that's reacting to the difference between those two. It's -13, but both ways. Now, I think if he finishes it, it's -12. But that's the only other thing that I would change. I think I would make it so that it jails. And if you're mashing a hop kick and he goes into stance, you should just always get your hop kick every single time. And then if he finishes the string and you're still mashing hop kick, cool, he gets to punish you for mashing hop kick. It could be a mid or high, so that's why it doesn't jail. Yeah, maybe. You can react to him going into stance here. It is very hard, so like, I can crouch jab that. So what I do is if I see him go into stance, I'll crouch jab, and if I see him finish it, I'll take my 12 frame punish. But like, I'm God 6, I make content about this game, I study every character pretty religiously. Most people aren't going to be able to react and crouch jab that. Let alone a hop kick. That's near impossible to hop kick on a reaction and still beat the 2-2. That's exceptionally difficult to do. But those are the only things that I would change. I would dramatically nerf the steel pedal. And I would dramatically nerf... I would make that string jail. But those are the only two things that I would nerf. I could also be argued out of the string being forced to jail if the last hits were more punishable. 360 degree. Oh, yeah. The heat smash is homing. That's also true. Okay. Anna. So, the fucked up thing about Anna, I think this is where all of her problems start. Fucked up thing about Anna is this. She should not be able to cancel out of the stance in the crouch. This is not correct. I think if you want to cancel in the Chaos Judgment, that's totally fine. Like, you have a read on a crouch jab. I'm going to go into Chaos Judgment. That's 100% okay. This is broken. And because now, off of my jailing mid-high string, that is 13 frame startup, 0 on block, I have a full hammer chance mix. I have a full crouch mix. I have a Chaos Judgment mix. I have a roll mix, and I have a delayed string extension mix. That's too much. It's too much. I think the way that you fix that is she can't cancel into crouch anymore. If she can't cancel into crouch, she could probably get buffed, in my opinion. this being able to cancel into crouch is too much. I think that is the single most broken thing about her and one of the strongest things in the entire game. This should not be able to cancel into crouch. Could be solved if down forward 1-2 didn't jail. So if you're saying that like she could still cancel into crouch, but this becomes a 13 frame punish, where like we're not just doing this in neutral, because like if she wants to cancel into crouch here, let her, right? I think if this is a 13 frame punish that you can't use in neutral, I also think that that's fine. Yeah, I actually also think that that's fine. I think if this either didn't jail anymore, or if she couldn't cancel into crouch, she could probably stand to get some pretty substantial buffs, because this not jailing that's like the single biggest nerf that any character has ever taken in Tekken 8. If this just didn't jail anymore. The second biggest nerf that any character has ever taken in Tekken 8 would be if she couldn't cancel into crouch anymore. Yeah, so I think if we do that, talk to me about Anna in a month, and I don't know if she'll need to get nerfed anymore. That's like making lots. Yeah, like that is such a colossal nerf that you would probably have to buff Anna pretty significantly to compensate for this either not jailing or her not being able to cancel into crouch anymore. I think that would be a pretty yeah, I think that would be the single biggest nerf in Tekken 8, which I think is fine. Anna's kind of sick. I almost like Anna. I think this is too much. What's going on, Moe? Sometimes I go -14 just to get hit by the ass and yours I eat up. Honestly, you're kind of spitting. To be honest, I'm not saying that I would say that, but I'm not gonna disagree with it. You feel me? But yeah, I think that, yeah, that's the first. I would start there, see how it plays out a month later, and then we'll revisit Anna after that. That needs to go. Bakuram, this big ass dude, bro.
Get ready for the next battle.
Bakuram is so degenerate. I think his character is so degenerate. That's gotta be in the YouTube video. True, yeah. Down 4, this is homing. Why? 14 frame homing. It is launch, but it's a 14 frame low with a good counter property. Sure, it's -4 on hit. This is homing. Disagree with that. What else? Oh, Bakuram has a really nasty bug that impacts every character besides Lily or Alyssa. So let me see if I can illustrate it. It's actually easier if I put Bakuram on the other side.
Get ready for the next battle.
So, where are we? Oh yeah, so many people are playing him now. So, this is one mix-up that, in theory, you should be able to option select. Right? So, in theory, you should be able to step them, right? The issue is that Bakuram's 343 will realign with you if you're crouching. So, just to show, if I do a sidestep here, this is fine. You can't step duck this. This will realign if you're crouching. I don't know why you can't step duck this. It doesn't make any sense to me. Lily and Alyssa are the only characters that can step duck this because their side steps are so much better than everyone else's. But yeah, you cannot step duck this. That's not correct. You should be able to step duck that. I'm pretty sure that that's a bug. Because again, I mean, you saw when I just did a regular sidestep, right? If I do this, it's fine. If I do a sidewalk duck with like the latest possible duck, I still get clipped. So that needs to be changed. Can you go the other way? No. So I think you can sidestep this. I think you have to sidewalk this. Lily and Alyssa can go left against this. For regular characters, they can't go left. So you have to go right, but even if you go right, you can't do the really cool. I know he's not going to do a 3-1, so I'm going to do a sidestep right duck to call him out. You can't do that. Lily and Alyssa can, which is really nice because so. The really nice thing about a step duck is that it covers so many options, right? So if I turn on his install, a step duck covers both of these. Okay, well, don't do that. So a step duck, it covers everything, but 3-4-3 it will realign if you're crouched. That's not good. That I think is one of the biggest nerfs that Fakamram needs because it like eliminates really high level counterplay where you're making a hard call out on no 3-1 and you're still getting punished for it. Your videos are awesome. Just want to say thanks for the content you put out. Keep it up. Thanks, I appreciate it. So that's the first thing I would nerf. I think down 3 or down 4 tracks too much. I don't know if I would nerf that much more, honestly. No, rest of me can't stand him. Yeah. Yeah, I don't actually know if I would nerf that much more. I think those are the two things that I would nerf.
7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
Thanks, Asaro, for the follow. Appreciate it. Forgot to follow. It's all good. I'll forgive you just this once. Yeah, I think those are the two things that I would change. I'm not sure I would actually nerf anything else. Not that Fakamram isn't really strong, but he does take really big risks. I think 3-4-3 being homing against crouching opponents, that removes a lot of the risk. Because now you have to guess. Do I do a flash duck into a fast wall rising? Do I hold my duck? Or do I commit to a sidewalk instead of do I flash duck into a fast wall rising? Or do I do a step right duck? Right? I think it's very unfortunate that... Yeah, it's very unfortunate that you have to guess there. Yeah, exactly. Like, Fakamram is allowed to be strong the way he is strong because he's also weak in very real ways, right? His most safe low is -13. That's brutal against Kazuya and Eddie. That's really brutal. If you dick jab the 3-string, doesn't it beat everything? Yeah, but that's boring, right? Like, no one wants to... Oh, I just have to dick jab every single time. Actually, I don't think it beats 3-1. I don't think it beats 3-1. Yeah. It doesn't... You have to, like, crouch into dick jab. Not all counterplay is fun to do. Yeah, exactly. Like, I should be rewarded for for doing my like really cool, like, oh, I'm gonna step right duck and I'm gonna call everything that's not a 3-1. But against Fakamram, it's okay. I'll just dick jab. Yeah, you got me. I'll just dick jab. Like, it's just boring. So I think that should be nerfed. That is egregious. But those are the only two things about Fakamram that I think are like ultra broken. The rest is annoying, but Fakamram is allowed to be annoying. What's the goal now that you hit God 6? I don't know. Probably been mess around with some side characters. I will eventually try to get Lily to God 7, but it's tough because I have a lot of matchups I'm really bad at. I'm free against Yoshi. I have a 25% win rate against Yoshi. I am literally free to that character. I'm weak against Anna. Although I haven't played ranked on Lily recently, so I don't know if that's still true, but I'm very weak against Anna. I'm not good against Eddie. I'm not good against Hwarang. So there are a lot of like matchup weaknesses that I have, and you can't have bad matchups if you're going for God 7. You just literally can't. I think the next character is Armor King, right? Okay, perfect. Next character is Armor King. This character is a disgusting abomination. If you play Armor King and you have a less than 50% win rate, I highly advise spending your time doing something else. Tekken, it's not for you, okay? Which is fine. It's okay. This game isn't for everyone. This character is disgustingly broken, and I've had enough, okay? I've had enough. First, this shouldn't be a 50-50. This should be, you should be able to break this with either 1 or 2. This initial break being a 50-50 is crazy. That is absolutely insane. Because really, really good Armor King players can do this. Where they can wave dash into a giant swing. The fact that you can wave dash into a giant swing, wave dash into a 2-throw, and wave dash into a Shining Wizard is ridiculous. The 50-50 here, in my opinion, should be a, well, what's it called? Either a 1 break or a 1+2 break. The fact that there's also a 2 break in here is insane. Yeah, exactly. It's a 3-way mix, or it's a rock, paper, scissors. That, or no, it's just a three-way, because a rock, paper, scissors, yeah, it's a three-way mix. That's insane. That shouldn't be a three-way mix. Now, how many people are doing a wave dash giant swing? No one, right? It's basically just Jake Man. But it's possible. What do we say about Lily? You have a lot of other options. Lily, you kind of have to hold it all, but that's a different conversation. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I am. Nice! That's awesome. Yeah, like being able to wave dash, like Blue Spark Giant Swing, and, you know, wave dash. I can't. My wave dash Shining Wizards are pretty bad. Yeah, so like being able to wave dash Shining Wizard or wave dash Blue Spark Giant Swing, that's really, really cool. The fact that you can also have a 2 break in here, no, absolutely not. That's not good. Bad Jaguar needs to be gutted. You can only enter this stance on +8. You can only enter this stance on +8. Oh, or on +26. I forgot you can enter on +26. That's so insane. Whoa. Yeah, you can only enter on +8. Because you can only enter on +8, the counterplay is just yes. Well, for 4-3-2, yeah, I mean, I am very fortunate that I play Lily. Because I play the character that I play, she can just sidewalk left the entire mix. There's no mix up here. Every other character has to guess after a 4-3-2, which is ridiculous. Like, that's insane. Power Crush isn't a wall spot. That's true, but it breaks the other rule that I would have for Power Crushes, where it gives a mix-up. I don't think Power Crushes should give mix-ups. The point of a Power Crush is you're calling out a slow button from your opponent. The fact that Armor King can just, I'm gonna do -6 into Power Crush, and oh, you pressed. Nice, I get a mix-up now. I just disagree. So, that's what I would say, is that I think that this shouldn't do what it does. So the other thing, okay, the other thing. How do I do it? Oh, it's 3-4-3. The ground throw is not correct. I don't think that you should be forced to tech roll here, because if you don't tech roll, you literally lose the game. I disagree with that. Oh yeah, that's right. It's 3-4-4-1. Yeah. So you literally lose the game if you don't tech roll here, because if you don't tech roll, then this happens. Oh my god. Right, so this is guaranteed. And then, yeah, you take 100 damage if you don't tackle. That is insane. I don't know if any character should be able to say, hey, if you don't tech here, you die. Like, literally die. That's a lot. That's a lot. Especially because his wall carry is insane. I'm bad. Did nothing of this get crazy with the wall carry? Oh, he doesn't actually reach wall here. Okay, that's fine. And yeah. He's not giving anything up for this. Right? And then he does the wall combo, so you're taking 100 damage, then you don't tech roll, and again, you literally die if you don't tech roll there. That's not good. I don't think that should be in the game. I don't know how you fix it. Like, I think that the ground throw against a back turn opponent shouldn't guarantee 3-4-1. I don't know how you make it not guarantee that, but whatever you need to do, this shouldn't guarantee a 3-4-1, because again, this puts them on their stomach. So because this puts them on their stomach, yeah, that's just insane. That's not even the most damage. Oh yeah, I don't even know, because I don't play the character. That is too much. Like, it's way too much. So that has to go. This move is cringe, okay? I don't actually know if this move should be nerfed. This move is cringe, alright? And not only is it cringe, why the fuck can he do it from back turn? I don't actually know how to do it from the back turn. Isn't it down two? He can do it from back turn. This move is cringe. I don't know if it's broken, but it's cringe, okay? It's cringe. There. I said it. I said it. I'm not taking it back. The move is cringe. This move is broken. I think if you block this low, you should be able to launch before the second hit comes out. The fact that you block this low and you're getting 50-50'd after blocking a low, I don't think there is a single low in the entire game where you should block the low and have to guess. This is insane. Especially because they both wall split. Yeah, that is insane. I think that should go. This should be minus 13, maybe. In my opinion, it should be anyways, but let them wall standing 4 in between at least. Yeah, like, get something, but yeah, the fact that this is a mix-up on block, no. I'm super over this being a mix-up on block. I think that should be deleted. Down 3 is homing and plus on it. Can you not step this? Let me switch off Pokemon.
Get ready.
I would be super curious if regular characters couldn't step this. Okay. So can't step it right. It's pretty good. I'm assuming that Lily can step it left. Well, let's try with Alyssa. I'm assuming that Lily and Alyssa can step this left.
Get ready for the next battle.
Side step forward, counter hit, launcher. You can't tech roll. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, so they can step it left. I'm assuming they can't step it right. Yeah, so they have to step it left. That's fine, because I step left against Armor King anyways. So you said sidestep 4, counter hit launcher, can't tech roll. What do you mean by that? Oh, it shuts down tech rolls. Yeah, he's going to run up to you and run up a throw mix. That is AIDS. I didn't even know that this did that. Yeah, you should probably be able to attack after this. I think you should be able to attack after that. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, you should be able to attack after that. Also, let me check in for breakout really quick. I'm not going to stream breakout because if I'm not having fun, I don't want to have to pretend to be smiling. So I'm not going to stream that, but I do want to check in for breakout. Where is my... Okay, there we go. Yeah, you should be able to attack this. Okay. Wait, can you dash shoulder here? You can dash shoulder there. I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, this move should be nerfed too. Yeah, I think you should be able to attack roll after this. This is a lot. This is hard to do, I guess. That's a 44 damage safe mid counter hit launcher. It's pretty good. Like, really good. Yeah, it's pretty good. So, what do we say needs to be nerfed? You should be able to interrupt this. This shouldn't give a guaranteed hit. You should be able to just tech roll after that. Should just be a full reset to neutral. Do forward, forward, forward. Oh, interesting. This doesn't seem to be as good. Said size step forward gives a guaranteed hit. Yes. This is guaranteed. If your opponent tries to get up, I guess if they lay there, it's not guaranteed. So if I just have Alyssa do nothing, so technically, you do risk getting launched here. Right? If your opponent has a launcher on their 3 button, you do risk getting launched there. But if they don't, that's guaranteed. So, and I think most people are going to try to get up here because they don't know that this is guaranteed. I found out about this 30 seconds ago. So yeah, this should not have a guaranteed hit. So same as any combo with the other throw? Yes. It's much more dangerous with the other throw because if your opponent has a wall-standing launcher on their 3, then you're like 50-50ing yourself, right? So June has one on her 3.
Get ready for the next battle.
So I think I can get the bot to punish. How do I get her to do this though? Oh, well, let me see if she can backroll this. No, it still hits. So there's a way to do this. I'm not gonna figure it out because I'm gonna be streaming for that much longer. Okay, so Nil said to skip to Leo because he has to go soon. So let's talk about Leo really quick. But just to summarize, this should not be a 1 or a 2. You should be able to break this with either 1 or 2. So you break that with either 1 or 2. I don't know why my League of Legends is opening. Stop that. We don't play that game anymore. This shouldn't give a guaranteed hit. That's a lot. Don't think you should be able to do that. You should be able to interrupt down a 3+4. And then obviously no homing throws in heat. And then this should not give a mix-up on hit. You should just knock them down for, you know, +6 or whatever. And then that's it. That should not go into stance. Also, I think this should be -14. Well, actually, that's not true. I think Armor King should be -15 because it gives a mix-up. And it's a really annoying mix-up. Because a lot of the options out of this stance, you can't sidestep. So, this should either be like +6 in this stance, so that more options can be stepped, or this should be -15. In my opinion. Kings is probably fine at -13. I would be happy with -14, but, you know, I'm not the boss. So let's talk about Leo really quick, because that's what Nil was asking.
Get ready for the next battle.
Yeah. So I think this +9 is kind of real, but it's also kind of fake. If this wasn't +9, the stance wouldn't work, in my opinion. So moves like this is 18 frames. If this is even +7, you can just crouch jab that. You can already crouch jab this because it's a high. This move, you can crouch jab it. The hop kick, you can't crouch jab. This low, you can crouch jab. This low, you can crouch jab. You can also throw from this stance, and it's a wall splatting throw that side switches. You can also crouch jab, right? The problem move is this is a 13 frame homing counter hit launcher. You can fuzzy every option, I thought. Kind of. Death Left Duck is the sauce? Not really. Because this is 13 frames, you can't do a step duck. Unfortunately. Yeah, because if we do a sidewalk left, or, you know, let's just do a side step left. So you can step that. You can't step that. You can't step that. You can't step that. You can't step the hop kick. But, so yeah, you can't step the hop kick, and you can't step the one option. But yeah, this is a effectively homing high that is 13 frames fast after +9. That's really good. In my opinion, one, this move should just have a homing trail to indicate that you're not allowed to step it. I feel like this move not having a homing trail tricks people into thinking that they have more counterplay than they actually have. This move should have a homing trail so that people know, hey, this is a homing high. That's my opinion. I also think it should probably be a little bit slower. I think this being as fast as it is too much. If this is a little bit slower, it's no longer homing, which means that you can try... You still can't step duck it, but you might be able to sidewalk it. Also think KK2 shouldn't track left. Yeah, I mean, this should have, like, 0 tracking. It's I-13 to Power Crush. That's true, but it's also a counter hit launcher, and it's also homing. You can't step it, right? So it does everything. It beats Power Crush, it beats Sidestep, and it beats pressing. I have to step away for a bit. Don't be weird and harass the streamer until I get back. True. So yeah, it does everything. The only thing it doesn't do is be a mid, but it doesn't have to be a mid because this mid tracks. I don't think this has a counter property, right? Oh no, this is also counter launcher. I didn't even know that. Yeah. This shouldn't track at all. This should be like completely linear. You should be able to step duck this stance, in my opinion. Now, Lily and Alyssa can do a step right duck. That is extremely precise, which I think is cool. KK14 is 0 to transition in the box. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. But in general, this is too fast, tracks too well, does too many things. Maybe if they wanted this to give, like, shoulder, if they wanted this to give shoulder guaranteed. So if this was all that Leo got, I think it still being a counter hit launcher is fine. Because it's also a homing and it beats Power Crush, that move being a counter hit launcher is too much. I also think that the low here is too fast. I think that KNK2, or KNK4 rather, this should be 22 to 23 frames. This being 20 frames means that this is barely reactable and it tracks super well. I don't think that should be a thing, in my opinion, again. I'm a very big, in my opinion, guy, but this is too much on, yeah, it tracks too much. So I think it should be slower. If it's slower, it probably won't track as much. And if it's slower, you can reliably do a step duck and you can catch it. Because there's only an 11 frame gap, this becomes very, very difficult to step. Finally, let's say you do your step left. The issue, unfortunately, as it is with Tekken 8, there's an issue. This tracks left. I don't think this should track left. Well, Leo shouldn't be able to heat smash from KNK, but if Leo is going to be able to heat smash from KNK, you shouldn't be able to step this. Or you should be able to step this. I almost had Tekken 8 brain. You should be able to step this. The fact that this tracks the stance's weak side is really nuts. So, I don't think this should track the weak side. This should either be completely linear, at least out of KNK it should be linear. Yeah, and this should be slower, and this shouldn't counter hit launch, and shouldn't track as much. That's kind of where I'm at with Leo. There's not much more that I would nerf. Like, down 2, down 4 to 2, 2+3. This is reactable if you're locked in. That sounds crazy. You can ask Nil. I react to this like 70% of the time. It's very rare. It's honestly more than that. It's very rare that Nil actually hits me with this on normal hit. Oh yeah, this move is broken. I don't know what this is about. I don't know why Leo got a shoe shine. This didn't need to be in the game. Yeah, this move should it shouldn't track at all. But yeah, that move just shouldn't be in the game, in my opinion. Leo didn't need a shoe shine. Don't know why Leo has a shoe shine. Leo heat smash wall splat from K&K still gives me nightmares. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Leo just didn't need a shoe shine from Bach. In my opinion, this should be completely linear. It should need a not track right and be -2. Yeah. It's already an evasive low. Yeah, I don't really know why Leo has a frame trapping evasive low, right? Because it's frame traps. I guess you can crouch jab this, right? But yeah, I mean, tracks super well. They face real. I always stream with camera. I just haven't been streaming that much lately outside of the last 2 weeks. But yeah, I always stream with camera. Yeah, that move is probably too good. That's what I would say. It's my first time here. Well, welcome. Happy to see you. Yeah, because like this move here is just crazy. Can you sidewalk this on +6? No, you can't even sidewalk this on +6. Yeah, the low needs to be deleted, but realistically speaking, shouldn't track at all, in my opinion. Even on +6, it shouldn't track it at all. So, yeah, the 3 nerfs from K&K. Oh, this? Where is it? Where is it? What's the evasive punch? Forward 2/2 +3. Can someone explain to me why this is a -9 evasive punch that wall splats? Jin's and Fang's are -10. Why is this -9? Eddie's -10 at least. It might be more minus than that. Why is this -9? I guess it is a high, but now what you're asking the opponent to do is you're asking the opponent because it's a high, that's how you do balance in this game. Listen, make it a mid, make it not wall splat, make it -10. This move, wall splatting, is crazy. This is crazy. It's like high power. Yeah, exactly. This move is already a super evasive button. Why does it also wall splat? The whole point is that you're calling out your opponent using a linear move or using a move that doesn't track right. So why are you getting rewarded by it also being safe and also wall splat? The shitty version of the Paul move? Yeah. It's too much. It shouldn't wall splat, and it shouldn't be safe. Should be -10 at least. So it's not that many things. But like the way it would change Leo would be too much. Leo's femboy Paul, true. Oh, the last thing. This knee here should be 24 frames. This is exceptionally hard to duck and launch, especially if Leo isn't spamming. This is exceptionally hard to duck and launch. This should be 24 frames, so that's easier to duck and launch. The last hit. But those are the big things that I would nerf. This last hit should be 24 frames. This shouldn't track at all. Should be completely linear. This shouldn't counter hit launch, and it shouldn't track. This should be a little bit slower. 22, 23, 24, around there. And heat smash should not track at all. You probably shouldn't be able to heat smash from stance anyways, but if you can heat smash from stance, it definitely shouldn't be able to track. But, you know, that's just me. Okay, so I'm going to play in a breakout tonight, and I want time to, like, eat and relax for a little bit. So I am going to end it there. Did you do Eddie? Yeah, so for Eddie, I think that forward 3 and handstand 1 should have more pushback on block for handstand 1 and on
7 minutes.
For forward 3.
7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
Thanks all time well for the follow. Appreciate it. Thanks for the stream. Appreciate it. Good luck in breakout. We'll see. I've been getting blasted in tournament lately. I don't know what's going on. I'm getting fried. But yeah, so for Eddie, I think you should just be able to backdash everything. June next time. So next time we will start from Hwoarang. Or actually, I guess we'll finish off the DLC. So we'll finish Miyari and Kunimitsu. Then we'll do Hwoarang. And then we'll just go Hwoarang to Savina, skipping Oleo. I don't mind changing 4-4-3. Handstand 1, I would say no. I think you should always be able to backdash the low. I don't think there should be a mix-up. I think the mix-up should be, are you that scared of relaxed 1 that you're willing to duck? And if you are, the mids should fry you. Do we do Reyna? Not yet. I will likely just make a video about this. It's probably going to be like 4 hours long, but that's fine. I think I think it'll be fun. But yeah, I am going to end it. Oh, and back 1 being homing and guaranteeing 61 damage on counter hit, and being safe, and being a mix-up if it were to hypothetically be unsafe on block. Back 1's too good. Gonna go stream now. Okay. Let me see who's online. Because if I don't know anyone on the line, then I might just like stay on the line until you go live so I can raid. But let me see who's on the line. Following. Kenzo's on. Dewglider's on. Dewglider does not need the help. Angel's on 2xKO. Trina's on.
7 minutes.
Kenzo, because I never
7 minutes
Kenzo.
Is all I can spare to play with you.
Thanks, Neil, for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, okay. I'm going to raid Kenzo because I raid Trina quite a bit. But yeah, I have a Discord. So I think socials. Do I have a socials? Yeah, that links to my link tree. This links to my Discord. It links to my YouTube. Yeah, okay. That's it. I'm going to raid Kenzo. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.